Let's go. Let's go. Listen, welcome to Street Flames crew, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. I told y'all, I'm not gonna be playing no more games. I'm gonna get this content rolling. That's all I got to say. But listen, today we're gonna get into this Pooh Shiesty situation because it's a lot more going on. It's a lot more going on than people think, than people know. And I'm just thinking about it like Pooh Shiesty might have been dead crack. Big 30 might have been dead crack. Them boys might have been them boy pockets might have been fucked up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry the way I'm putting it like that, but I gotta say it, man. I gotta say it. Are we gonna get into this Pooh Shiesty and Gucci man situation? We're gonna keep everything. We're gonna keep everything rolling. We're gonna get everybody up to par today. We're gonna get everybody up to date, and we're gonna keep it moving because Pooh Shiesty is flanked. I don't care what's going on. Gucci don't go to court or whatever, whatever. Pooh Shiesty is flaming young. But we're gonna get into this. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And enjoy the show. We gonna make sure we get into it. We gonna make sure we get into it. It was hating on me. With support. It's deep to them. Now they claim they ain't see my DM. I seen. Wanna be my BM. You can from the stove. From the get go. When it hit, think he's switch for. I just put an M on the children. I'm a little different. Look at the children. And you different. My heart, the streets that I never forget who the. I never forget who the. I never forget who the. On the better hating on me, than me. Gone for. I'll be right back, y'all. We gonna listen to this goo wop. Just eat it. Put my life in my baby mama. I was speechless. I was tweaking. I was tweaking. Tweaking. And then Reese's. With defense. Nigga pretense. I can't even see shit. Nigga preaching. When you need him. Eyes in back of my head. I seen that back door before it could swing. I put no run up on his team. Let it ring. How you gonna fuck with a nigga like me? That be some shit that it already be. His heat. Definitely heat. Hey. Seeing the plot before it can happen. Shit automatic. When it happen. But when it happens. Other you rapping. With a balance. Started. Going back. Big test. Now blame the caption. Ain't gonna sound for the caution. Oh. In the lows. In the fool. Let you gone. Gucci about to come on. Eagle coming right at Shiesty. This ain't a call. You know how it is. Live off. He turned from a monster for millions of dollars. In the eyes and back of my head, I see the back door before it can swing. Run up on me, steam. No me, let it ring. How you gonna fuck with a nigga like me? That be some shit that it already big. Come on, why? Yeah, gonna watch what he say. I keep hearing these voices in my head. Fuck them niggas that let me for dead. I could do better on my own. Shit, I dropped everybody who fucking my brick. Please don't get it confused, cause I'm in the black, I'm not in the red. My head saying, fuck what they said, I ain't taking my meds. I keep hearing these voices. Buy new Porsches, they say I'm mentally stable. But it ain't no time to feed my horses. I keep hearing these voices. Me up and buy more voices. I keep hearing these voices. But watch your back, gotta be more cautious. With your head. Thinking that bitch. Like Elvis the pelvic. Important. I done got stories, I don't even Jordans. It's a beautiful morning. In the Georgia, water. I don't even care about the fame at all. The money motivate me, nigga. How the fuck I'ma spare you, shiesty? No shot with an umbrella in it. I was only at the top, but I must have forgot that I put an elevator in it. Blue up, I see dead people, got skeleton in it. An elephant in it. I don't keep hearing these voices in my head. Fuck them niggas that left me for dead. I could do better on my own shit. I dropped everybody who fucking my birth. Please don't get it confused, cause I'm in the black, I'm not in the red. Voice in my head said, fuck what they said, I ain't taking my meds. I keep hearing these voices. Riding new Porsches, they say I'm mentally stable. I'm gonna feed my horse. I keep hearing these voices. Be up and no voices. I hear these voices. Gotta be more cautious. Cause when it comes with it, never really sounds all the jealous you getting. I'm in Linux. Gotta be lifted. He killed me, said killed it. That in the game and I milked it. And I'm telling you, killed it. Once I drove to the government, they too gonna never in the time when I get with it too. I'm gonna chill with a man in the grass and say they got me chicken in the soup. My dog, I'm not sure with a roof. Boy, nobody like a chicken with a tooth. I'm gonna go to my fuck with a zoo. I'm gonna go to my fuck with a tooth. I'm boom. My dog fell low, gotta throw a Hollywood. Dog on my head said, what you gotta do? What I do? Y'all can hear these voices in my head. Fuck this niggas that let me for dead. I can do better on my own shit. I drop shiesty, you fucking my brick. Please don't get it confused, cause I'm in the black, I'm not in the red. He ain't saying, fuck what they said, I ain't taking my meds. I keep hearing these voices. Remember, on new Porsches, they say I'm mentally stable. And then I'm gonna feed my Porsche. I keep hearing these voices. Be up and buy more voices. They keep hearing these voices. Watch your back, gotta be more cautious. Let's get the act. Let's get to work. Let's get to work.
Say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the shots flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department.
I don't like you, cuz. I ain't never gave you a pay. I'm gonna keep 100. I never liked this. You never liked this.
I ain't like you. I never been a fan of you. I never even thought about type you in on YouTube.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's KB and we locked in. Now let's jump into it.
By the way, make sure y'all subscribe to KB. KB Goes Live. Got good content, got good viewpoints, just make sure y'all subscribe. Shout out to you, bro. I'm tuned in.
Today, we're going to be speaking about Pooh Shiesty, his background, how he blew up, and why he is facing serious prison time.
Let's go.
Pooh Shiesty, real name Lontrell Williams Jr., is that's from the south side of Memphis and grew up in the Cane Creek projects. In order to understand Pooh, you gotta understand where he comes from. Memphis is a notoriously dangerous area of Tennessee and the South in general. In Memphis, there are currently around 102 different gangs, and out of 500,000 people that populate the area, around 14,000 of them are gang members. It would be more accurate to describe the gangs in the area as a small army. Memphis houses every single gang you could think of, like the Bloods and the Crips, but also dozens of smaller offsets.
Dog, Memphis, it's too many. Listen, y'all need to just fall back in Memphis, man, and get some motherfucking money. Like, y'all just keep killing all type. Listen, Young Boy, I believe it was Key Glock cousin. Young Boy just went on Prime and he lost his life. It's just like, man, y'all.
Gangs. Memphis has been ranked in the top 5 most dangerous cities in America for multiple years in a row. Not only is Memphis dangerous, but it's small. In fact, Memphis don't even have a west side. It's just the north, south, and east side. On one side of Memphis is Arkansas, and on the other side is Mississippi. All 3 states are rural.
Dog, look how small it is. Look how small Tennessee is, man. And y'all out there playing games. Elon Musk came down there and got the AI down there. Like, listen, y'all Memphis, it's prototype. Y'all unhinged. And it's like, people want to know what's up with y'all. Like, all y'all down there got talent. Y'all can cook, y'all can clean, y'all can shop, y'all can rap, y'all can dance, y'all can sing, y'all can hop, y'all can play the pianos, y'all can play the flutes, y'all can play the violins, y'all can play all that, but it's just too much beef down there, man.
But Memphis really acts like a hub between all 3 because of the I-55 interstate connection. So Memphis sees a lot of runoff crime from the surrounding areas. In addition to understanding Memphis, in order to understand Pooh, you need to understand his upbringing.
Whoa. What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, we just built an app.
His upbringing was crazy.
South Memphis is one of the oldest sections of Memphis, and as such, it's also one of the poorest. It stretches from Midtown all the way to the Mississippi state line. In this area of Memphis, you will see as many churches as you do gang members, but don't let that fool you. South Memphis is a hotbed of crime, and Southern hospitality is rarely exercised in these parts of the city. A list of notable rappers from South Memphis includes Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, DJ Paul, Key Glock, Tay Keith, Young
Dolph. That's Dolph.
Dolph.
That's Dolph. Rest in peace, Dolph, man. I'm pretty sure if he didn't lose his life, I'm pretty sure a lot of things wouldn't have been happening. A lot of people probably still wouldn't have lost their life. But even before him, like, it's crazy, man. Y'all killing y'all talent.
Black Youngster, Big Scar, and Moneybag Yo. And that says something about South Memphis and its influence. Pooh Shiesty was born November 8, 19th, and Miscellaneous got into a shootout at a Yo Gotti birthday bash where 3 people were shot. And then in 2004, Pooh's dad, along with another man named Stanley Andrews and a woman named Marquita Thomas, were arrested for being involved in the homicide of a local Memphis radio personality for Q107.5 named Rebecca Gline. According to
So Pooh Shiesty dad did that because the dad wanted to get played in a club and the DJ kept playing Yo Gotti. So why would Pooh Shiesty try to sign to Yo Gotti and his dad ain't?
Reports on April 14, 2004, Rebecca was at home at her Memphis apartment. A man, now identified as Stanley Andrews, slipped past the building security guards and was wandering the halls knocking on random people's doors during the night. Rebecca got the knock on her door and without checking, opened the door for a stranger. According to Stanley's sister, Stanley told her over a jail phone call that when she opened the
Let's look at this shit. Let's look at this shit. He robbed and strangled her.
Door, she started yelling at him, and so he just snapped. Whether that happened or not, we don't know, but what we do know is that Stanley would barge through the door, wrapping his hands around Rebecca's neck, and would strangle her to death, and then rob her. It's unclear if anything else took place, but when the police first arrested Stanley, they charged him with first-degree murder and perpetration of rape and aggravated rape. Pooh's dad was not on the scene when this happened, but was linked to the crime as an accessory after the fact and for first-degree forgery because he tried to help sell the items robbed from Rebecca after the murder. I highlight the story so that I can also highlight the kinds of conditions Pooh grew up in. Pooh would have only been 4 years old when the incident occurred, showing how young he was when he was exposed to the dark side of Memphis.
Pooh Shiesty, man. I was rocking with you, man. I was rocking with you, third ball, man. Big 30, man. Y'all fucked everything up. Like, Big 30, you about to get signed to a major. But it's still CMG, but I'm just saying you was signed to bread game.
What you reppin'? I'm 1017, the Dell, Chopper Gang, 4L. I'm from South Memphis.
Get your ass and shit, man. You wanna shoot up? Get your ass in the motherfucking car. You don't hit your head, nigga.
Before you think about playing me, just know you ain't got none to work.
You got nothing to worry to your funeral, cuz.
You ain't got none to worry to your
You ain't got
funeral.
nothing to worry, cuz. So why would you play with
This shit ain't picked out yet.
Pooh's dad would be arrested again in 2007 for running a drug trafficking operation out of an apartment located at 784 Porter Street in Memphis. The police had been running surveillance on the location for a few months, and on this day, they decided to execute a search warrant after seeing someone enter the apartment with a black duffel bag. Detective Kittrell Robinson of the Memphis Police Department testified that when he entered the apartment building, he saw a man run from apartment 4 on the left over to apartment 3 on the right. The officer proceeded forward and said he could hear the sound of glass breaking and somebody yelling, "Go, man, go." On his way up the stairs, the officer would come face to face with the 75-pound pit bull who rushed the officer. The officer shot the animal 3 times and the dog retreated to the kitchen in apartment 3 where it would die. The detective continued to testify that he told Pooh's dad multiple times to come out with his hands up, which he eventually did after about 15 seconds. When they got in the apartment, they could see the shattered glass from the kitchen window with the shoe on the floor, indicating that someone had jumped out of the window. The officers would find and recover 12.5 grams of cocaine, 8 pounds of weed, 2 digital scales that were on the kitchen counter, a box of 9mm and...
So this one, Rico was still alive. That's who Pooh Shiesty always talk about, Rico Johnson. So is Rico Johnson related to Straight Drop?
ammunition, a rocking tool that's used to cook crack, measuring cups, and a Smith & Wesson. Plus, they found $10,000 cash in Pooh's dad's front left pocket. Basically, Pooh's dad was helping run a trap house. Pooh would have only been 7 at this point, so within the first 7 years of his life, Pooh's dad would be arrested for murder and robbery, plus all of the charges from the trap house raid, setting the tone for what Pooh Shiesty would look up to from there on. See, Pooh's dad was engaged to Marquita Thomas, the woman charged with him on the murder case, and he had been with her for 7 years. Basically, Pooh's mom didn't live around him, and Pooh's dad was raised every morning, going to monthly parent-teacher conference.
So basically, the mom slid on her. The dad was taking care of Shiesty the whole time. So I wonder was my balls writing all Pooh Shiesty raps or something? Because if y'all notice, Pooh Shiesty, when he released that music, a lot of that music is not under a lot of that music is not under Gucci. It's not under 1017. Like, the federal contrabands and shit, it's under Mob Ties Global. So y'all gotta pay attention to things like that.
Conferences and so on, but when the bad outweighs the good you do, Texas, but that would only last 2 years before his dad was set free and Pooh moved back to Memphis. Pooh said that even though his dad was a rapper, he didn't have any intentions on becoming one himself. Instead, Pooh had major hoop dreams, hoping to go pro one day, but Pooh just couldn't avoid the streets forever.
Hey, come on, my nigga, I cannot pull up on Willie, cause we will let your ass have it. For real, this shit for real. Big job is going on.
When Pooh was only 11 years old, he was arrested for the first time on robbery charges. Pooh was actually only 11 years old also when he was expelled from his middle school for bringing a gun to school, an allegation he denied in an interview with DJ Boots. Pooh was arrested again when he was 14, but there aren't many details about.
So it just seemed like young boy couldn't really stay out of jail. And like I said, 30, man. 30, man. I thought you was more wiser than that, player.
About the incident since Shiesty was a minor, but it has been confirmed that these two arrests took place, so it seemed like Pooh would be following in his dad's footsteps, jumping headfirst into the streets. When Pooh hit high school, he would be grouped with other teenagers from the city, some of who weren't from the same area. Memphis has hoods like any other city, but the city has somewhat segregated them from each other. Each hood has its own elementary and middle schools separated by train tracks that run through the city. The gangs in the city have used the tracks as a way to identify borders in the hoods of the city. Basically, the tracks are what set up the territories for the gangs. Growing up, Pooh never really had to interact with anyone from the other side of the tracks. But in Memphis, once you get past grade school, the chances are you will go to high school with other people from other gangs and neighborhoods that can cause problems. Pooh started attending Central High School, which is across the tracks from his hood. Being put into a position where Pooh had to interact with other gangs led him and his homies to start their own.
See, that's why a lot of people fuck with Pooh Shiesty. You could tell. Like, what'd he say? What'd he say on first day out? I ain't wanna be a rapper. My name hold too much weight.
Called Chopper Gang. Don't be confused. Chopper Gang is not a rap group. In fact, Pooh didn't take an interest in rap until after high school. Although he did used to participate in freestyle sessions at lunch, but in the hood, everybody does this. Anyway, Pooh and his homies formed Chopper Gang, which Pooh described as an organization focused on getting money any way possible. Pooh did end up graduating.
That right there, Chopper Gang, that's gonna hurt.
High school, but only after attending a secondary school that helped him catch up on his missed work. After graduation, Pooh and the Chopper Gang began to generate some serious cash, and Pooh said it was at this time he started to take rap serious. A lot of people have reported that Pooh didn't drop his first single until 2019, but that ain't true. In 2018, Pooh's best friend Big 30 track featured local artists like K Shiesty and Chopper T, but at the end of the song, Pooh can be heard sliding in on the track at the very end. This has been reported as Pooh's first verse as well, but again, this information is incorrect. From everything I can gather, Shiesty's first song was actually titled Weak Ass Bitch, featuring K Carbon, and it dropped on September 8, 2018, and was a remix to 3 6 Mafia's song Weak Ass Bitch. The song garnered only a couple thousand views within the first week, but has since gone on to rack up over 1 million streams. After that, breaking news dropped, and the song would hit over 100,000 views in the first week. But Shiesty would only release one more song titled Non-Stop in 2018. But in 2019, January, he would show his face again in a music video for an artist known as Baby K. They dropped the song titled Hit Your Block, and the video was shot by SMB Films. On the track, you could tell Pooh was really finding that unique flow he is known for while sliding on the same simplistic type of beat that would later blow him up. After only 1 month, Pooh would put some money together, hit the studio, and record his first official single title with him.
Say his past started to catch up. All that little slimy shit he was doing. He stole a gun, allegedly stole the guns from what's the nigga's name? What's them nigga's name? Bezel Gang, EBG.
It can be scary to pursue your dream.
Bezel Gang, EBG Jizzle.
Out. Your ass showed out. See, while Shiesty was trying to make a come up,
Hey, we pulling up, boy. Hey, we pulling up, boy.
no more games. You showed out. Your ass showed out. See, while Shiesty was trying to make a come up, him and Chopper Gang was hitting diabolical licks before TikTok. He was in the streets heavy, trying to build an enterprise. In fact, growing up, Pooh was no stranger to violence, saying in an interview that in Memphis, everybody is guaranteed to have at least one friend murdered before the age of 15. In 2016, Pooh lost his best friend Trey Day. In fact, before Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty were best friends, there was Pooh Shiesty and Trey Day. Pooh has shouted out Trey Day in multiple songs, so it's clear they was close. Trey Day was a kitchen crip and a member of a local Memphis gang, Young Mob. Trey Day was murdered at a VIP nightclub while waiting on...
Oh, so that's why they fuck with Shiesty. The mob fuck with Shiesty so much, because of Trey Day.
Shiesty to pull up to kick it. When Pooh started to blow up, the street started catching up and the beef came quickly. Big 30 signed a money bag, yo, but Shiesty stayed independent and grind hard until he got the attention of Gucci Mane, who eventually signed Pooh after reaching out to him on Instagram. But Pooh didn't only want to take himself to the top, he wanted to bring Chopper Gang with him. His cousin Big Scar, who wasn't even a rapper, dropped 2 songs after Pooh became a signed artist, and Gucci Mane came through and signed him too. Pooh Shiesty and Chopper Gang was the hottest thing coming out of Memphis, and the streets took note. Pooh Shiesty would start taking direct shot at another Memphis rapper named Big Boogie.
Alright, let me clear this up though. I ain't no beef, y'all. I ain't no beef, but why you say something back, boy? A feature? A feature! A feature! Man, you can't pay for a feature right now. My mom, you can't pay for one of my features, man. Where you at? Let's go to the studio. Right now, let's go to your studio and do the jump. Come on. Tag him and tell him, yeah, I want to do the feature. Yeah, come on. I'm outside, cuz. I want you to just say what you just said on that status in my face. Come on, just do that. Just do that for me, please. Where you at? Get him on here, y'all. Get him on here, y'all. Man, broken hell, man. Where you at, cuz? Let's go through the feature. ain't gonna lie though, on some real shit, I gotta keep it so 100. I ain't never like you, cuz. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never like your bitch ass.
See, I try to give you a pass with Jayz, cuz.
Whopping 30 trying to give your bitch ass a pass. I ain't never liked you, cuz. You know I ain't like you. In the street, like, we ain't gonna talk about that on here, though. We ain't gonna talk about none in the streets on here.
Said, hey, here.
Make your ass wreck again, big boy. Drive that, chop that hoe down again. All right. Bitch, I'll kill you. Oh, I'll shoot you in your motherfucking head, oh. I can't wait to see it, bitch ass. He ain't gonna say none of that shit. Can I pull up to your hood? You gonna drop your location? I'm trying to pull up. Call him, cuz. Drop his number or something, cuz.
Big Boogie is a rapper that is signed to Yo Gotti CMG label, and he is actually from Louisiana, but moved to Memphis as a kid, so his ties is deep, just like Shiesty's. The world was unaware of any problems between the two until Pooh Shiesty went live and started clowning Boogie. He would talk about how Boogie couldn't afford a feature from him, clowned him for a dance he
Look how he dancing. He out of order.
did, and got real disrespectful. Big Boogie will respond by getting disrespectful back and sent some shots of his own. Apparently, Pooh had pulled up on Boogie before on some hit a lick shit, but Boogie didn't want any problems. Boogie claims that this story never happened and that he only met Shiesty once and they didn't swap any words when they met.
Man, come on, my nigga Shiesty, bro. Nigga, we ain't never had beef, we never had words or none of that shit, nigga. A nigga, come on, my nigga, ain't worried about none of this shit, bro. Where your beef come from, big bro? Oh, my bad, let me fix that. Mr. Bad Guy, where your beef come from? We never had words, none of this, bro. We saw each other twice. Our word didn't even come up, nigga. Then shit come up, nigga. That motherfucker ain't gonna fuck with me, bro. I'm just gonna keep it at that, bro. Motherfucker ain't gonna fuck with me, bro. Bro, I don't even know Pooh Shiesty, bro. That's the point. Why would I say something about Mr. Pooh Shiesty and we never had words, bro? But trust and believe a nigga ain't worried about nothing, though. Red Rum ain't beef with no motherfucker, man. I'm talking about Red Rum ain't beef with no motherfucker, bro. You lying, you lying motherfucker. You a lying motherfucker. He been wanting to say something about Big Boogie on his page. Get your fucking money and shut up and keep going. Fuck you think this is, nigga? Man, you ain't no motherfucker. Who are you? You ain't no motherfucker, nigga.
Just like Pooh had Chopper Gang, Boogie had his own. His gang was called Red Rum. And Pooh Shiesty was so petty, he would go as far as to make his own weed packaging and name it Red Rum so that he could say he was smoking on Red Rum pack.
Now, you see what I'm saying? It's still shots of stuff being shot at towards the Gotti and them. Now Yo Gotti and them CMG artists and things like that. So for Pooh Shiesty to want to come home and do that, that's crazy.
Taking a note out of Chicago's book. The beef would hit its peak when Boogie had a concert booked for July 12, 2020 in Como, Mississippi. Boogie would take the stage surrounded by his entourage and was laying down a performance of a lifetime when over the music, gunfire could be heard.
Shots really went off.
Somebody let off over 50 shots aiming for Boogie on the stage. Boogie wasn't hit, but a 19-year-old female named Jasmine Bradshaw and a 37-year-old named Elvie Wilborn were shot and would die from the incident. 3 more people were shot and another 3 were injured after being trampled during the panic, making a total of 8 victims in this incident. Over 5 different firearms were used, suggesting this was definitely targeted as there were multiple shooters. Jasmine, the young lady who was killed and shot on stage during this incident, was allegedly Boogie's pregnant girlfriend. The beef would die out after this, but it wasn't the last beef Pooh would be involved in. Less than 2 weeks after the
Boogie girlfriend?
shooting, and Pooh Shiesty would drop a song titled Twerk Song. The song wouldn't chart at the time, but it did build up a massive audience of people that were taking notes of Shiesty's witty disses to his ops. On November 6, 2020, Shiesty was at Savage Inc., a recording studio in Atlanta. The building has multiple studio rooms, and Durk was there in another room. Shiesty said that he had the beat from a producer named YC, also known as Christopher Pearson, and laid down the hook and a verse. When he was done, he ran it over to Durk in the other studio room. Shiesty said that Durk listened to it and dropped his verse on it within 5 minutes. They finished the collab and dropped the song a few weeks later, which was a major success. Durk was already on top with multiple songs on the chart at this time, and most of the world was there for Durk's savage verse. But this was by far the point where Pooh Shiesty got introduced to a mainstream audience. The song would climb the charts, rising all the way to the number 13 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 and the number 6 spot on the Hip Hop Hot 100 charts. Doing hundreds of millions of streams in the first few months it was released, but while the world was focused on Durk's part of the song, the streets of Memphis was watching and listening to Pooh's verse. It seemed that Pooh was rapping about some real street shit that had taken place. On Tuesday, December the 8th, Pooh posted a message to his Facebook story that said, "Drop that song and you ain't gonna live to see that baby get here," leaving the world confused as to who he was talking to. It wouldn't take long for the world to find out what Pooh was talking about. On January 1st,
EBG Jizzle now.
2021, a Memphis street gang known by EBG dropped a music video titled Back in Blood over Pooh Shiesty's beat.
Now it's crazy because they Back in Blood did better than Durk and them John. So what they did was they copyright strike this video, and that's why they Back in Blood kept going up. Lil Durk and Pooh Shiesty, but they Back in Blood was what was hotter.
It was a clear response.
Not hotter, but people was on it.
Response to Pooh's verse, and the world was now made aware of the beat. On the track, EBG Jizzle can be heard responding to practically everything Pooh said on the original, and it featured another EBG gang member named Moo Slime, who would also throw shots at Shiesty. In the video, the gang can be seen gripping large rifles, small handguns, and wearing hoodies that have CGK on them, which stands for Chopper Gang Killer. It seemed that Shiesty's past was catching up with him, but he wasted no time responding by dropping a music video for the song, and then he posted on social media that he did 18 million views off the ops without dropping their names, and said that dropping the remix to his song was the worst mistake they ever made. EBG Jizzle's original video remixing the song was taken down multiple times because of copyright infringement, but the gang re-uploaded it again and again and again until the account was banned. So EBG Jizzle dropped another song titled Rumors, where he addresses the beef again. In the video, EBG can be seen on a video call with Quando Rondo sending secondary shots at Lil Durk because he featured on the song with Shiesty. This was a demon move because the day that Pooh and Durk recorded Back in Blood, King Von was killed in Atlanta by Quando Rondo's homie Lil Tim after Von started beating Quando's face in. A few weeks after releasing his diss song, EBG Jizzle did an interview and confirmed to the world that their song was a diss at Pooh Shiesty. According to the streets, this beef originated because Pooh Shiesty ran down on EBG in North Memphis and robbed him of
Pooh Shiesty climbed through their window when they all left the block.
Their guns and drugs. That's why on the song, he tells them, yeah, you know who took that shit from you, come get it back in blood. Basically telling them to shut up and retaliate. Within a few weeks, Pooh was making posts on social media talking about how one of his ops got hit. He posted and said, damn, that puts this, now he can't even walk. He followed that post up with another one that said, fuck walking, I don't even think bro talking, where he disappeared to. He then said, y'all ain't gonna put that in that next song, is you? Then he says that shit's hot, clearly referring to bullets. The last post in the series said the ugly main one rapping, not the other kid. He next. The internet started spreading rumors that EBG Jizzle was shot and paralyzed, but he would go live saying that he was only shot in the arm. All this would do was bolster Shiesty's career, propelling him even further up the charts. On February 5th, 2022, Shiesty would see the release of his debut mixtape, Shiesty Season, which would peak at number 3 on the Billboard.
So he dropped all big tapes. He dropped no albums with Gucci. Wow.
Hot 200, selling over 60,000 copies first week. Maybe at this point, Shiesty should have just chilled out and enjoyed his success, but the Memphis streets were too ingrained in him for a peaceful retreat into a lavish lifestyle. Instead, Pooh would continue to find trouble. While he should have been enjoying the fruits of his labor, Pooh would find himself in Miami. On October the 9th,
this joint crazy because Big Scar was there too. That's crazy, he passed away.
The rapper would be involved in another shooting incident. Pooh, along with 2 of his Chopper Gang homies, drove to Bay Harbor Islands looking to make a transaction for some sneakers and some weed.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Lontrell Williams.
Suicide watch. That turtle suit right there is a suicide watch.
Okay, good morning. Mr. Williams, you were arrested for pursuant to an arrest warrant. It was issued June 3rd. It's charging you with aggravated battery with a firearm. And you have 2 attorneys here.
In the video of the incident, the rapper can be seen pulling into a parking lot in a greenish yellow McLaren and hopping out of his car. The seller of the merchandise pulls in behind him in a Mercedes and gets out of their vehicle too.
Look at that Big Scar right here. No shirt on, this Big Scar.
After a few seconds, Pooh's 2 associates can be seen pulling out a Drake.
That look like Hank right here. This look like Hank and Pooh Shiesty over there.
Going another handgun and shooting the seller of the transaction. The seller was hit, but he would survive the attack. Pooh and his associate fled the scene, but left a duffel bag with over $30,000 cash in it. Police would indict the rapper and his 2 associates on discharging a firearm during.
How you try to steal? How you try to rob somebody? Yo, shot bull. And you drop 30,000 right there. You drop 30,000. Right here, yo. Right there.
A violent crime, conspiracy, and robbery under a law regulating commerce. They used pictures of the rapper that he posted on social media as evidence. Apparently, one of the serial numbers on the money left at the
He gots to be one of the dumbest snakes. He gots to be one of the dumbest snakes. The same money that he flexed with on IG the night before was the same money in that bag that fell on a crime scene where people shot and robbed.
The scene was linked to a photo he posted on the gram that had the same serial number. He appeared in court where it was revealed that the 2 victims gave conflicting testimonies about the incident. One saying that they were there to sell sneakers and pick up rent money for the.
See, that's the whole thing about it. Why the feds been on Shiesty ass? Look, the feds been on Shiesty ass since day one. Did y'all notice that? They've been on Shiesty ass since day one. See, they pulled the same thing off right here that they did to Gucci, man, but instead, they didn't go back to Memphis. They still played around down there in Atlanta, because remember, he was signed to Gucci.
Clarence Shiesty was driving, while the other said that they were there to sell weed. Pooh's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, who also defended Lil Wayne and Kodak Black in their federal gun charges, tried to discredit the victims, and it seemed to work. The judge granted Shiesty a bond of only $30,000, which the rapper posted. Once bail was made, Pooh and his homies boarded a private jet and left the state. But that's not the only incident on record. On July 7, 2020, the rapper was charged for discharging a firearm out of a car at a gas station in an attempt to shoot an op. But that wasn't the worst for Shiesty, as he still had more legal trouble to come. On May 30th, 2020, Shiesty was at the King of Diamonds strip club in Miami, a popular hotspot for rappers to throw their money away, dancing and having a good time when apparently $40,000 fell from the rapper's waistline. Patrons of King of Diamonds rushed in for the money and successfully took it, which pissed Pooh Shiesty off. The rapper started acting like...
It's crazy as God saved that nigga twice. He gave him a record deal, and then he sent him to jail. So he did it 3 times. God saved him 3 times.
An infant, which led to security forcefully removing him. While being removed from the club, Shiesty would pull a pistol out, shooting the security guard in the leg. Shiesty was arrested and his bond was set at $10,000, but because he was already out on bond, he was forced to sit in jail until his trial for the other shooting ended. The rapper tried to delay the trial, but has since put in a request to expedite it. While initial reports claim the rapper could face up to 20 years in prison, the truth is the maximum amount of time the prosecutor can recommend for sentencing is 97 months. Shiesty has since said he will plead guilty. His trial was set to begin on October 25th, but has since been delayed for unknown reasons, and he has not been sentenced, but it looks like he said he will plead guilty. For sentencing is 97 months. Shiesty has since said he will plead guilty. His trial was set to begin on October 25th, but has since been delayed for unknown reasons, and he has not been sentenced, but it looks like the rapper will face about 7 years in prison.
You don't want to get behind. If you're in a business...
Shiesty basically had to turn somebody in. Y'all remember what Finesse 2 times said? Finesse 2 times said, the feds said, he said always keep somebody around you that you could turn in. Cause that's corny what happened at 30. I ain't lying. I fuck with Third Ball. Well, my man, I got another video for y'all. Hold on. So we gonna go through this. So all the stuff I be watching. Where my man at? Where my guy at? I'm gonna go to... Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. But what's your whole thing? Like, what's your whole thing on that Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane situation? Like, what's your... How y'all feel? Where my man at? Where my man at? Where my man at? My man somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. I'ma find it. Just give me a quick second. That wasn't Friday. This wasn't Friday. I was watching a video. Was it? This wasn't Friday. Gotti. Lisa. Let's see. Believe. No. No. The bull. Think of absurdity. Under the budget. Swear it was Sunday. There you go.
And all that shit, bro. Come on, bro. Let's just.
This is how a ramen.
This video is covered under the. This video is covered under the Fair Use Act. But listen, man, he breaks a lot down.
Brand reached over 1 billion people without using social media.
In my opinion, going to be one of the top 2 ad platforms in the future, and it'd be kind of stupid of you not to jump on it now.
Indication of what the indictment will probably look like.
We're gonna get through it. Miss Gucci Man, botched robbery, okay? The botched robbery that was committed by Cassidy and friends, okay? And so today we're gonna be zeroing in on Big 30 because what's getting ready to happen is that the feds is getting ready to squeeze Big 30 like a teddy bear, okay? Because he's made a lot of fatal mistakes in this botched robbery. You dig what I'm saying? And so we're going to go over these things, right? How Big 30 took his dad Hellcat, right? That was registered in his dad's name.
Oh, that right there is the crazy part. Like, why would you take your dad Hellcat, bro? Why you ain't get a rental?
Down here on this heist, right? We got to get into the firearms that was used in this botched robbery was also registered to Big 30's father. Okay. We got to talk about the phone that he tried to damage and break when they found them, and also the recording contract, okay, that he was getting ready to that they was getting ready to give him a few days before he got arrested. Okay, and this is getting ready to tie CMG Gotti them into this shit, right?
That's a whole big situation. It's a big situation, man.
If the feds choose to go there, because what you guys got to understand is that Big 30 been out here all this time, right? And all of us sudden, after this heist, this botched robbery with Gucci, now
Like they really went on a motherfucking GTA heist.
all of a sudden there's a deal on the table, this and that. So we're going to get into all of that, right? And this is why Yo Gotti has deployed again Arthur Horn, right? Arthur Horn is the eyes and the ears for Gotti. You did.
Yep, he did that with Straight Drop. He did that with others. He did that. He also is the one funneling money, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly to protect myself in this channel, because he is a lawyer. But allegedly, he's funneling the money because Cornelius Smith lawyer exposed it. I mean, Straight Drop lawyer exposed it.
What I'm saying, and we're going to get into all of these things, right, so that you guys can understand. But this could get ugly right here, because once again, they have only filed a criminal complaint. They have not brought down the indictments. Okay. Now, with that being said, right, the last thing we're going to talk about is this $20 million, $25 million.
I don't believe that $25 million should exist either. Like, Gucci Man label is only worth $14 million, so how the fuck he owe you 25? Yeah, shit that generate that shit.
Lie that they claim that Gucci Man made on Pooh Shiesty, and this is nothing more than a lie that's been concocted, mixed, and cooked up by none other than the chief of police, Detective
Hernandez Govan.
And there's Govan, right? Once again, he's right in the middle of this shit, snitching and doing all of this shit. And while everybody's looking at Gucci and all this other shit, he finna send these niggas up the river for a very, very, very long time. So now, there's a lie that's floating around that Gucci made $25 million while he was locked up and this and that. And these are nothing more than alibis, right? Because anytime a crime is committed,
you need an alibi.
You know, the authorities is always trying to figure out what is the intent, why was this committed. So instead of saying that this was a $15 million hit by Yo Gotti sent at Gucci Mane, right? They're gonna say, oh, it had to do with Big Scar and all this other shit. But we're gonna ice this shit right now, and we're gonna catch this guy and nothing but lies, right? Okay, so now let's run the tape.
And they know why Pooh was upset. You know, he was while he was incarcerated. I think Gucci made about anywhere from 15 to 20 million, you know, off of him. And then for Pooh to come home and for you to be screaming like you broke and you ain't get a man none when he came home, you know, all of that played a part.
While Pooh Shiesty was locked up.
What would it feel like to wake up on your terms, work from anywhere, and actually enjoy what you do while helping others? My name is
He didn't receive any funds from Gucci Mane, and his music was still making money. And
that was what it was. It was alright, but like, come on, man. Gucci, if you did that, you gotta get that man money. But it's crazy, man.
And if there was a debt owed to Pooh Shiesty, I mean, I believe there was a debt owed to Pooh Shiesty. I don't represent him, so I don't know.
Atlantic had just gave Shiesty $5 million for a publishing deal. And they were about to give him another bag for some type of branding deal or whatever, in which Gucci was still tied in the mix of it. And Shiesty didn't want that to happen. And so Atlantic was trying to work out some things with both parties. Gucci wasn't cooperating, and they just added fuel to the fire.
So now, as you guys could see, right, all of this originated with none other than Detective McGruff, right? What he did is he sat on Count Capone and said, oh, Gucci made over 27 million, da 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 da. Your boy Arthur Horn regurgitates that out of his mouth. Well, I think that he owed, but he should know that as a lawyer, that's impossible. Anyway, he said that, right? So then he turned around on Lionel Beach show, right? Y'all go check these out. You know, I don't want to play the whole videos, but you know, I gotta play different excerpts so you guys, for educational purpose, under the Fair Use Act, can hear and see this fat ass lie concocted by Detective McGruff. Then he turned around and said, "Oh, this happened to Gucci because all the shit that he been doing, right? And that Atlantic had a deal." Now think about this, you guys. Atlantic had a deal on the table for $5 million, he say, for Pooh Shiesty, right? And then some branding deals. So if Gucci Man made over $25 million off this guy, you're telling me that Atlantic is only bringing this dude $5 million that's on the table? Why he ain't say? Because you got to remember, yo, Gotti is not no major. He signed to Rock Nation. Come on, man. It's no different than Pooh Shiesty being signed to 1017. They got, and really it's worse for Gotti if he go with Gotti, because Gotti is signed to Rock Nation, and Rock Nation has the deal with Universal. Gucci has the deal, you know, the distribution or whatever through Atlantic. So you got to go through two more steps, two more people that's got to eat. You dig what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, why would he just go back to the Atlantic and say, well, Gotti's offered me $15 million? You know, what y'all got to understand is that if Gucci made over 20 or 25 million off of Pooh Shiesty, that would have mean that he would have had to make at least 40 to 50 million in sales, because Atlantic got to get their cut too. So there's no fucking way. You talking about Little Durk numbers, man. NBA Youngboy numbers. Pooh Shiesty is not doing that. Yes, you know, y'all got to understand, at the height of his career, when he was hot, he decided to do some stupid shit, go on a shoe heist, right, and get locked up. Had nothing to do with the music, because you got people like Cartel Bo talking about, oh, well, you know, people do all this and that. But this had nothing to do with 1017 on the record label. This was some goofy shit, actually, that Holmes did when he went and did the shoe heist and had to go sit down anyway. It was stupid, right? And now he getting ready to go sit down again, so his career is over with, bruh. So there's no way that Gucci could legally rob him for $20 million. And then why not get the lawyers involved? This is what y'all got to understand. This is the whole point that everybody missing. If Atlantic had $5 million on the table and he didn't want Gucci, this and that, why not go through the lawyers? You got to pay them lawyers now. You got to pay the lawyers now. So why not just go through the lawyers? But y'all got to understand, and this is why Gucci Man is not a snitch. Gucci didn't go out here and do what Tekashi 6ix9ine them did dirt. This wasn't no 1017 Rico, and he told on motherfuckers. They keep going back to this old ass video that has nothing to do with corporate business, bruh. You got into this shit not on no street shit. You got into that contract legally with lawyers. You looked at it and did this and that. And then Dogface gonna say, when real street stars ask him about it, right? He gonna say, well, what about the legal contract and all this other shit? Well, he should have went through the lawyer and trying to see how, what the fuck you think the lawyer gonna say? If the man said, I didn't sign this contract, it was he's got to tell the lawyer what the fuck happened on how his signature got on that fucking, whatchamacallit, on the contract. What the fuck you think the lawyer gonna say? You gotta call the police and report this shit. So it's a fucked up situation because he has to follow the law on that shit, bruh. The thing that even make it worse is that when Suge Knight them did it, even Eazy-E did the same shit. Ain't nobody called Eazy-E no rat, right? The other thing is that not only did these stupid ass niggas just come in here and get the contract signed, they turned this shit into a robbery and robbed civilians and everybody that was there. This would make the shit so bad because I gotta call the police about the contract, and I also gotta call the police because I gotta be reimbursed my money for my jury. And everybody said, oh, well, he got enough money, he cut it, but none of them motherfuckers would do that shit. Most of these motherfuckers ain't even got insurance on their jury, you guys. Grass. How you go tell another man that paid taxes on this shit, that's got insurance on his shit, that just got robbed for his shit, that he can't call the police and get recouped? What is you paying for the insurance for? You paying for if it gets stolen, lost, theft, or whatever the case may be. This is what you paying this shit for. So it's fucked up. This is not some, even though Pooh Shiesty them did some street shit, this is not no street shit, bro. This is not Gucci coming out the club, niggas all masked up, where niggas' identity is, you know, not revealed, where he don't have to say, okay, this and that, but they can see that this actually happened. These niggas was in the recording studio. They got these motherfuckers coming in. They see who everybody is, and they still pull this shit, bro. It's no mercy. Stop saluting this fake ass shit that motherfuckers want to be like real. Listen, fam, let me tell y'all something. I done been up under that shit, bro. I done been up under that pressure. These people that's talking ain't never been up under that pressure. If you did that shit to DJ Academics, Cam Capone, and all these people that's running around, what you think they gonna say? They gonna turn to the, oh, well, I'm just a civilian. So what the fuck you got all this say so old street shit and you're a civilian? It should be a law against this shit. If you a civilian, just shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear your opinion because they be amping this shit up and they ain't never been up under that. They don't even understand this shit. Gucci did not sit down on them and tell on none of this shit. All the cases that WAP done called, he ain't never told on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Never sat down in the interrogation rooms and gave this person up. He did his time, then been through the state, then been through the feds. Come on, bro. That man ain't no motherfucking snitch, bro. You know what I'm saying? We not honoring that shit, bro. The shit, bro. This ain't that. So that lie about the 25 million, we gotta stop spreading that shit because that was concocted by Detective McGruff, and it's a fucking lie, bro. Y'all act like this some street shit, like he just signed a 1017, no lawyers, no nothing, and he just made all this money off of him, bro. If he made all this money off of him, I'm the first one to say, Gucci, pay that man his money. But the other thing is, the lawyers would have easily saw that, oh, well, Gucci, he made this much money, this and that. You got to pay him that. He's got lawyers. Come on, bruh. So that's the first lie. We need to stop spreading that shit. That is nothing more than a ploy put together by Gotti and Detective McGruff to try to give, what's the word that I'm looking here? What's the, what was the motive for this? This is the motive. Come on, bro. And even Big Scar Dad said that Guwap paid something on the funeral and did something. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing about the change, I don't know all the ins and outs on that, but that ain't nothing to go in there and hold the man at gunpoint and send Chopper Gang and everybody back to the feds and all that shit.
Right, that's not a real reason. It's not a real reason. It's not a real reason. Why they didn't go through the lawyer process and this and that. Why you Gotti didn't buy him out the contract or this and that. Why?
Bro, come on, bro. Let's just be smart. This is a play put down by Gotti. Now, let's keep going here, okay? Now, the next thing that I want to do is let's put this up on the screen.
Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, man. Street Flames Crew, we back in motion. We back. Had to get my screen fixed, whatever, but make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, man.
Screen, right? Okay. We're gonna put this up on the screen, right? Okay. And this is about the cell phone, right? Okay. Because this is where we finna get into where Gotti now is most likely gonna be in trouble. And I'm explaining to you why. Now, it says on here, Mr. Wright allegedly filmed the release of the contract on the cell phone. Special Agent Hobbs testified that we had an active court order searches of the location data for Mr. Wright's cell phone, right? So they got an active court order, right? I'm gonna explain to you what the feds did. Excuse me. It says so on the morning of the operation.
Look at that boy phone. He broke it. Like, what, he threw it out the window? Like, what, he took him on a high-speed chase?
He had agents that were tracking the location real time of his cell phone. They knew what vehicle he was driving and initiated a traffic stop in order to effectuate the arrest. The phone was working and on. That's how they found him. That's how they got to him. And by the time the vehicle was pulled over, you can see the picture. The phone had been smashed. And I think that there will be really great instruction if we were at trial about presuming that there was something bad with that phone, right? So now, what you guys got to understand, right, is there's a lot of people running around talking about all Gucci got to do is say this and that. They don't have any video footage, this and that.
Staying late again? Yep, got prospect calls to summarize. You really need to switch.
Like, y'all really think them cops and everybody gonna recant their statements? This ain't no little Woody situation. This is federal. This is not state.
Let's run the tape.
You know, Gucci came in the studio, And when he came in, you know, he wasn't allowed to leave. And so, you know, Gucci came in the studio.
Okay, let's run the tape.
You know, Gucci came in the studio. And when he came in, you know, he wasn't allowed to leave. And so, you know, there's a lot of things that happened. You know, a lot of jewelry was taken. The cameraman, he got assaulted. And Gucci was forced to sign a release form to release Shiesty out of the record deal.
That's what he said he seen on video. We already know he told all Yo Gotti and them niggas allegedly. But this is what he said he seen on the video, y'all. Y'all gotta pay attention to this boy. He telling on Pooh Shiesty, Big 30 and them. He telling the world he seen the video. Guys, y'all gotta pay attention. He's telling the world he seen the video. We ain't know a video existed until he said it, and he spreaded the information to Seti Nash and Trap Lord Ross and them. But he said it.
And it was recorded as well. And so
they said Big 30 recorded, right? Or somebody from the crew?
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
Now he gonna say allegedly after you already seen it. Man, get the
I do know it was recorded.
See?
I seen the video.
See?
I was gonna ask you that. Did you get a chance?
So how you said allegedly and you seen the video? This ain't no allegedly. You seen the video.
Let's see the video.
Yeah, I seen the video. You know, and I think this is my first time kind of like breaking this year, but yeah, I actually seen it. And
what
you know,
can you describe a little bit of the details in that video?
The big breaking news today. The federal authorities raided Pooh Shiesty's father's house yesterday, but they've now said they have a criminal complaint that charges him, Big 30, his father, and 6 others with conspiracy of kidnapping and robbery. And it all matches back to a story that we heard, but I think a lot of people are like, man, it's got to be cap, because why would this even be a thing? But
I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was cap. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all broke the news. But go Van, come on, baby. Come on. Seti Nash. Come on, bro. Clip this video up or something. And send this to them, man. Like this, like, come on. Come on, man.
Supposedly, Gucci was kidnapped and forced to sign his release papers, and people were robbed in the incident by Pooh Shiesty and others. You're the first one who said this shit.
Yeah.
How the hell did you know? Like that's the question, bro.
I know a couple of the cats that was actually charged on the indictment. I know personally.
Really?
So now, did you guys hear that? Detective McGruff told y'all that there is cell phone footage, and he saw the footage.
I gotta pay attention.
So now, if I'm whopping them or the people that was involved, I tell the feds, I say, man, or let's just say the off-duty police that was there, right, that was involved. All they got to say is, we're going to pull Detective McGruff in, and we're going to pull Seti Nash them in, because why? They were the first ones that broke the story, right? You heard with...
Because if y'all saying the raid happened 3 months, they broke it 3 months ago. They said it. Ain't nobody know. That's why Gucci came out with the video. I mean, with the picture. Cole Van said it first. He broke the news. He wanted to go viral. He broke the news, y'all. And I understand y'all want to see content and stuff, but come on, man. Y'all got to have some type of dignity, something. I understand you ain't loyal to nobody, but listen, man, like, Yo Gotti, you hear and see this shit, man, Yo Gotti? Seti Nash, Charleston White, y'all saying this y'all man, but y'all see what he doing to people he fucked with in Memphis. He telling on them. So what the fuck you think he gonna do to y'all? He gonna try to rob y'all or something?
With DJ Academic said, you was the first one to bring this to the net. How the hell did you know?
Hit the like button.
And let's see how real and solid these individuals is if they would keep it a bean and not say nothing. I doubt it. I doubt that they would go sit down and do 5 to 10 years over this video evidence that he said. He didn't say allegedly. He said it exists and that he saw it.
Then he said allegedly.
This game.
You can't say you saw something and say allegedly. Allegedly don't work like that.
He said he saw it. He said that they he confirmed they kidnapped me. Come on, bro. These are y'all gotta understand the play that's going on here. Gotti put this shit together and he was mad at Pooh Shiesty them for signing a while. They get ready to send these boys up the river. And if you think that Detective McGruff is not going for a pay raise, y'all got to be out y'all rabbit mind, okay?
That's what I just said the other day. Y'all gotta be out y'all situation. He going for a pay raise. That's a big joint. He got Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, and his dad and them mob boss and them booked. Big 30 or something. Y'all listen, man. Listen.
Now, let's get back to this phone. Big 30 recorded this shit, right? In this video footage, because remember, they were trying to sell the footage, okay? So the feds got this footage because guys, this is how the feds played this, right? When this shit happened back in January,
got all the information.
They had to call, they didn't call the feds, they called state police or just the Dallas police or whatever. It made the report and all of this shit. Once they made the report, the Dallas police, when they ran Pooh Shiesty name, they saw that he was still under federal custody and stuff. Okay, because they did this to me before. When I first got out the feds, I was down in Atlanta with my people now, and the tent was too dark on the vehicle, so they pulled us over and shit. When they pulled us over, they put us out the car. They was telling me like, we didn't got to detain you. I'm like, no, I got permission from my probation officer to be down here. You know what I'm saying? And they end up letting me go and shit once they called and verified. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they had to do in this situation. They had to contact the feds because he was still part of federal custody. And so when the feds got it, the feds just started rubbing their hands like Birdman. They said, oh, this is going to be a payday for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The lawyers is getting ready to eat, and Pooh Shiesty and Chopper Gang is going down the river. Okay? So this is what happened. So when the feds got a hold of the information, the feds told the probation department, violate his ass because he had already been fucking up, riding around. They asking him where he at. He in traffic, but he lying on the phone telling the probation, this is how slow this nigga is, bro. We gotta stop commending this shit, bro. So they violate him and put him in there to April. And while they had him in there to April, this is when the feds was doing all the investigation and doing all of this stuff and putting all this stuff together in order to bring forth the indictment.
Where all y'all guys that kept recording him and going live with Pooh Shiesty and got him all in trouble because Pooh Shiesty been in trouble. Pooh Shiesty been sent back to the halfway house. That's what y'all gotta understand. They violated him they violated him when Govan said that. That's why Pooh Shiesty blowing the paperwork out was like, man, I ain't no rat, man. This, that. Because he gotta go back and answer to that shit. Pooh Shiesty not gonna have a walk in the park when he go back to the feds. He gotta answer that rat shit that they said he did. Cause he hid it when he went in there, but it came out. You took a profit, bro. We like your music and all that, but we was vouching for you. We was voting for you. We was rooting for you. We wanted the young boy to win. We ain't know you was going to come home and be that type of...
This is how it happened, you guys. So right when he was getting ready to get out, about a week or two ago, this is when they brought forth the indictment on April Fool's Day and clipped all of them. Okay.
That's crazy because he was supposed to get off.
So all y'all people running around talking about there ain't no video footage. Yes, the fuck it is. And Detective McGruff just told y'all that, man. Grasp. These niggas is still booking, bro. Now let's keep going here with this complaint, right? Okay, let's put this up on the thing, right? Because now we want to talk about the record deal, okay? So they gave Big 30 the bond. The feds appealed and say, no, this is what's going on. Now listen to this right here. It says the defendant financial profile further underscores the flight risk he poses. Testimony from the defendant's label representative, right? So this came from the label. which is madness, right? Because I'm finna tell you what they finna do. Establish that he is on the verge of executing a 7-figure record deal with Connect Music Group, a deal whose final revisions were received just days before his arrest. Right?
Y'all know who Connect Music Group is, right? Connect Music Group is Yo Gotti, Zach Randolph, and Lil Boosie got parts in that, all that.
So right before he got arrested, because remember, Pooh Shiesty was getting ready to get out, right? So he had a deal on the table, right? Okay. It says has not been executed, and upon execution requires the defendant to deliver an album with approximately 145 days, so about 4 months, a little bit over 4 months, right? The deal thus cuts both ways. If the defendant believes the prosecution will prevent him from fulfilling a contractual obligation and the deal collapses, he loses the single financial incentive the defense claims tethers him to the jurisdiction. If, on the other hand, the deal remains available, the defendant has access to over 7 figures and resources with which to flee, resources that dwarf a $10,000 bond payment. Either way, the unexecuted deal does not favor release. It illustrates the inadequacy of financial conditions of loan to mitigate the defendant's flight risk. So now, guys, here we go again. So y'all telling me that Big 30 has been out all this time, right? And this is the thing that I don't understand.
That's what I know. This is what I want to know. How Big 30 been out this whole time and y'all ain't give him a deal, but after he robbed Gucci Man and shit, now y'all trying to give him a deal.
There was a thing with Pooh Shiesty's mom where they were saying that, you know, Gucci didn't do this and that. Like, Gucci's not obligated to get that woman money, right? Pooh Shiesty's supposed to have his money together and make sure his mom's straight. His dad was out here. Why didn't the dad make sure the mom was straight? Chopper Gang was out here. Big 30 was out here. Why wasn't the gang making sure he was straight? See, Pooh Shiesty wanted to come home like B.O. Lil Kenny came home. You see, when he came home, them guys had them racks and shit. They didn't have it for Pooh Shiesty when he came home. He told you who looked out for him when he came home. And it wasn't Big 30. Big 30 and them didn't have them racks because they've been out here loafing. So now, what is the chances that all of a sudden now he's got a 7-figure deal on the table? Guys, this is how this shit went. We're going to put down the play. Gucci a street nigga, he ain't gonna say nothing, just go in there, force a nigga out the contract, and then we could do business once you free, right? Sent these niggas off. When they robbed them and recorded the footage, okay, the footage, Big 30 got the footage. So now this was gonna boost them up where it's like, okay, we already know Pooh Shiesty was like hot. People was anticipating them coming home, right? And then they was gonna give Big 30 this deal, but they was gonna do this all on the dime of Gucci Man by like, yeah, we went in there and took care of this and did this and that, and they got stripped for his shit. Woo, 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 we them guys. And now he got some shit to talk about. He's got a deal. But what's the problem with this? All of these record labels and shit, and this is where Gotti got it because they already know this. See, Gotti is a shiesty ass nigga. Fuck what Pooh Shiesty talking about.
Gotti is shiesty. Niggas know this.
That nigga Gotti is a motherfucker, boy. That nigga Gotti is a...
And the thing about it, they sent money back. Remember that picture with Moneybag, Pooh Shiesty, and Big 30? They sent Moneybag to talk to him. That was the night before. That's when Glorilla was in there. Gucci Man blocked the Gorilla feature. Why you go do songs with my ops? I don't want you making money with my ops. Nigga, fuck how good Glorilla look.
Motherfucker, Jack. See, Gotti just don't say like, okay, we want Young Dolph killed. Here go the money, y'all gonna do that. Hey, no, straight up. I'm gonna give you a record deal. I'm gonna blow you up, have you hot, da-da-da-da-da. Pooh Shiesty, you go take care of this business. I'm gonna give you 15 mil, I'm gonna turn you up. Big 30, I'm gonna give you a 7-figure deal, da-da-da-da-da. So at the end of the day, Gotti is not just paying this money to get this shit done. He basically funneling the money through the record companies, right? And so when they get the advance money, you dig what I'm saying? This is the payment, right? And so at the end of the day, Gotti own all the masters and all of the shit that they gonna make the money on. He gonna get it back anyway, because all the money that the label gonna spend it's gonna be on 30 dime. So you signed a deal for this. So basically, Gotti is getting free shit done under the illusion that, hey man, you're gonna be racked up, you're gonna have the millies, you're gonna have this and that. Come on, bro. They know that this is what Gotti do, bro. He moved through these record labels and he funneled money through these record labels. And y'all don't think that the feds know this? You don't think that the tech?
That's the same thing that they allegedly got Jay-Z on. That's why with that Uncle Ruckus situation, Jay-Z couldn't invest in that Uncle Ruckus shit. He gave them $20 million and they kicked it back out. The IRS was on that.
Y'all just wait till I give y'all this update on Big J. I haven't done it because I got to get all the clips and shit together. So I'm going to be working on that this week. By this weekend, we dropping that motherfucker, Jack. Real deal. They already had Big J on the Young Dolph case. They didn't want Big J. They wanted Gotti. And if you think that Detective McGruff did not get out and tell on Gotti too, come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Let's be smart about this shit, man. He finessing all of their ass, including Gotti.
Meet Squibbler, the AI book.
That's what I'm saying. How far Gotti and Govan gonna go?
So once all of this shit get put to...
How far Gotti and Govan really gonna go? Because Govan is sending the cops on Gotti, allegedly. We know that, we see that, we ain't stupid. And you sitting there talking about Gotti was getting shot at, and you know this and that, and... But I thought you didn't know Gotti.
Rest about that what this was a lie about the 20 million and all of this shit. It boiled down to Gotti sent this play at Gucci Mane because he wanted to discredit Gucci Mane, you know what I'm saying? And he wanted Pooh Shiesty because y'all gotta understand, Gotti don't have no muscle in those streets, man. The Memphis streets. He needs somebody that's connected, that's got a face that can blow CMG back up because what y'all seeing, them Blue Dolphins, right? When they come to the industry, they love Gotti. When they come to the streets, it's Dolph. They know who run Memphis, man. They know who run them Memphis streets. Come on, man. Okay? Now, this is the other thing, right? Let's run the tape.
So you're in the street, you're from Memphis. It's a big thing. We all know Gucci and Yo Gotti had history over the wife.
Yeah.
There was this thing in the street that
It wasn't never over the wife. That's what y'all keep saying. It was over Gotti trying to drop his album on 10/17.
people kept telling me that Pooh Shiesty was trying to go to CMG, 15 million. Yo Gotti had the bag ready for him. That's why he was trying to get out the deal. Do you believe that? Do you believe that Pooh Shiesty wanted to go to CMG?
Definitely. Yeah.
Wow. So that's confirmed.
Yeah. And he was about to sign. You know, if things could have got worked out, you know what I'm saying, in a peaceful business manner.
So did you guys hear that? Govan, Detective McGruff, then proceeds to say cheese. And he tells Sean that this was guaranteed. He didn't say on none of this shit. He ain't said allegedly about the video, allegedly about the contract. He confirmed that there was another deal on the table for Pooh Shiesty, meaning that he was going to CMG and Gotti was like, "Long." So guys, this is the motive, not this bullshit about all the Chandler big. This is what they're saying, where they're lying. This was the real motive. Yo, Gotti sent the hit against Gucci, man. You know what I'm saying? And Gucci, I would make it hard for them boys in Atlanta, man. We know Gotti hiding out in Cali, but they be down in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Detective McGruff be down there. Detective McGruff, Hernandez Govan is hiding out down there in Dallas, man. These guys are not hard to get to, man. This is where they at. You see what I'm saying? But he confirmed on tape that there was a deal with him and Gotti was gonna sign him once again. All of this shit is coming from Gotti.
Keep replicating
Come on, man. Pooh Shiesty ain't putting no shit like this together, bruh. He don't have enough sense to put together a play like this, man. Come on, bruh. Okay. Now, let's keep going here, right?
Van out of order.
It says, the feds say Big 30 took his dad. Hold on. Traveling with coca spiders before and after the offense, cell phone records and vehicle. So you see that?
this right here, cell phone records. What it say? The feds say Big 30 took his dad's Hellcat from Memphis to Dallas to execute the mission in Gucci Mane. Plus a 7-figure deal is waiting on him upon release, so he doesn't deserve a bond. Traveling with co-conspirators before and after the offense, cell phone records and vehicle telematics confirm that the defendant traveled from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas, Texas in a Dodge Hellcat registered, and his father arrived on January 9th, 2026. The defendant traveled with the other co-conspirators to the defense location and then to the Star and Frisco afterwards. He returned to Memphis January 13th. See? Everything was in a couple days. Glorilla, Yo Gotti and them came down there. Moneybagg Yo and them came down there. And they put the play together. Because we seen all them in the studio. They try to say that was early January. No. That was January motherfucking 9th. When Glorilla and Pooh Shiesty was in the studio.
Cell phone records. So they already been had the cell phone records. They already been tracking, got the warrants, and did all of this shit. So they got everything that they need. The vehicle telematics confirmed that the defendant traveled from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas in a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. And that same Hellcat got stolen down there in Dallas. The night they was at the hotel and shit, probably getting fucked up. Went to sleep, motherfucker stole the Hellcat, boy. That shit is wild. But see, you had a hole in the wall. You had a comfort in, bro. Come on, man. You know they going with that. Talk about karma, boy. Let us get that. Okay. Registered to the father. Arriving on January 9th, 2026, the defendant traveled with other co-conspirators to the offense location and then to the Star and Frisco afterwards. He returned to Memphis on January 13th with the other two co-conspirators. So once again, they got Big 30, you know what I'm saying? They got the phone. They got him
The thing about it, Big 30 played the most important part. Holding the door, getting the guns allegedly, and then traveling back with niggas.
Getting the people down there that was on the hit, okay? And this right here also, okay? Let's put this on the screen. It says, defendant's own father confirmed under oath that he owned the Glock 45 and Draco, the same types of firearm recovered at the time of the defendant's arrest 3 months later. So once again, guys, Big 30 father has said under oath that the vehicle was his, right? And that those guns that was used in the botched robbery was also his. It was registered to him. He said this under oath. So once again, all these people talking about these street codes, this is something that, and this is his father. He can't even lie to these people or help Big 30 them because the Hellcat was registered in his name. So it's coming back to him. You know what I'm saying? The guns that he had that they took down there on the heist that Big 30 said go get was registered to him. What can he say? He gonna keep some street code and say, no, man, you know this and that. He got to tell them people the truth. He wasn't involved in that shit. He didn't know Big 30 was going down there to do that stupid ass shit in his shit. He told Big 30, hell no. Y'all, you telling me out of all the guns that they could have got, he took his dad's gun and then he took his dad's Hellcat that got stolen. That's why they had to take the Greyhound back, because the Hellcat got stolen down there. Come on, bruh. And then the other thing, and I don't have these put up, is that this is how slow these niggas is, bruh. When they stole when the white boy said, y'all gonna take my Rolexes and all of this shit or whatever, something to that degree, they robbed him and they took the bag and shit. The bag that he had Apple AirTags in it. So they tracked that shit all the way through to these people. And then they saw him putting all this shit up on Instagram and all of this other shit. So guys, these guys are fucked. They getting ready to squeeze Big 30. He gotta come on with it. And this is why your boy Yo Gotti has once again deployed who? Your boy the lawyer. You see what I'm saying? The family lawyer. He done deployed him in order to go out here to make sure that Big 30 don't tell you guys.
So we recently turned on Axon's new prospecting campaigns, and the impact was instant.
Axon prospecting campaigns are designed.
Come on, bro. He got up attack Gotti, so if you hear anything, this is what it is. The next thing is, let's listen to Precisely Lawyer, right? Let's run a tape.
I want to now go into a specific piece of alleged evidence about your client that was as part of this filing, and was purportedly used, to as support for the arrest. And so it says, the complaint claims that your client was wearing an ankle monitor because he was serving a sentence, like you mentioned, the prior case, these federal charges, I believe drug and weapons charges, and he was sentenced to home detention. He had to wear an electronic monitoring device, and they say that authorities were able to allegedly use the location data from that device to seemingly track his apparent movements near the crime scene. And I believe they say that the ankle monitor was used to track him and William Sr. to a Staples, and the allegation was there that they went to a Staples early in the day to print off that agreement, to print off the contractual release paperwork that they say they were forcing RD to later sign. And the feds also claim that the surveillance video and the GPS data, they put them there. So talk to me about the ankle monitor.
Sure. First, let me just address the Staples thing. Like, I don't even care if they're at Staples. Like, they're going to a recording studio, and normally my clients usually print off the lyrics for different individuals. If you have 5 individuals that are going to be on one record, and they each have a section or a part, they'll usually print those things off. So I really didn't care about the Staples thing.
So once again, you guys, did you guys hear that? So Precisely Lawyer is not saying that Precisely and his dad was not at the Staples, right? What he's saying is that they were printing off some damn some lyrics and shit.
Niggas use their phones.
Even he know Precisely as fuck, bro. He didn't say he wasn't there. He said, man, they was just there printing off lyrics. They do this before they go there. Man, don't y'all know and understand when y'all go to the Office Depots, the Staples, and all these places to get copies and shit like that, all of that information is stored in their databases and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to send it over to them in order to print it, right? So they have all this information. And so now the problem with this is that it's premeditated. It's not just like, okay, this happened and then this shit just popped off and it was already planned. This is why they went and printed the contracts before they went down there. So this is all premeditated. This is what I'm saying. When the indictments come down, they're going to change a lot of this shit up. So Big 30 of them is fucked. Arthur Horn has been deployed to make sure that he don't snitch on Gotti, and whatever time he get, he going to sit down. If I'm Big 30, I will fire Arthur Horn and get another lawyer, but most likely Big 30 just don't have the money. He don't have the money up. He don't have it. So what I would say, Big 30, is just fire Arthur Horn and go with a public defender, because the public defenders in the federal side, they not too bad, but excuse me, you would rather do that than have to deal with Arthur Horn, because Arthur Horn is just gonna take all the information back to Gotti. You dig what I'm saying? Now listen to this, right? Let's run the tape.
Boy, they got some strong stomachs. I can tell you that, man. To go do some shit like that, man. You know, on federal paper and with an ankle monitor on, you know, and to go rent a car, and use the same rental car, is a really, you know, in the crime. So that's in your name. You know, people just don't think, man. You know, and I just hope this be a learning lesson and experience for a lot of people out there. You know, I hope there's some young guys that's out there that's living that same type of life and see this shit and be like, and just wake up, man, because, man, this shit ain't gonna do nothing but lead you to 2 places, man, you know, hell or jail, you know, one or the other, so.
So now, do you guys hear the tone of Detective McGruff? Remember how he came out, hey Gucci man, we saw that tape, we know this and that, and was talking all this street shit. Now he's sitting up here talking about how stupid that Precisely and all them is. And you guys go watch the video. I don't want to go through all, you know, Cam Capone them shit, but he talking about how stupid they is, and he know that they fucked, that they going up the river, you know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna have to get that tape up. You see what I'm saying? See, most likely Precisely them ain't going to trial, man. They got the amount of evidence that they have, they're going to be forced into plea deals and they're going to be forced into rap. There will not be no trial on this shit, bro. Because if it's a trial, they're going to give him forever and a day. He's going to take the plea bargain. When they bring the indictment down, Pooh Shiesty's going to probably get more charges because he's already been convicted of a gun. So I think it's a 922, a 924, 926, whatever that is, of having a firearm after you already been convicted. The minimum on that is 10 years, just for that alone. Not including all the other enhancements and all the other shit. So he finna sit down for at least 15 to 20 years, depending on how much money he paid a lawyer, whatever he get able to work out. And people keep saying, now listen to this right here, right? And this is what we're gonna wrap it up on, okay? Let's run the tape.
But just one of the things that I thought about before coming over here today to sit down with you was, why would you want to put your best artist that's made you millions of dollars back in federal custody for
What? Nigga, you allegedly just robbed me. What are you talking about?
or a decade or more? Right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Because he drops FDO. It's the #1 song in the world, right? And he's signed to your label. So why would you want to put him back into custody?
There's a new AI business model quietly replacing dropshipping. It uses
Every song wasn't under CMG. I mean, 1017.
Shiesty could make you millions and millions of dollars more.
Now your boy Arthur Horn gonna say, I don't know why would Gucci do that, because Dodo Bird, he put this man on, and the man tried to bully his way out of the contract. You dig what I'm saying? So what the fuck is Arthur Horn talking about? Why would Gucci do this and that? Bro, because you trying to force your way out of a contract versus going through the proper route. You would have better just doing what you needed to do, get the money. Hey, Gucci, you need to separate, we'll do this and that, hit the lick, whatever you need to do, and I'm going by my way. And then you should have went to do what you do. Why would Gucci do him any favors after he backstabbed him like that? And not only did he backstab him, he's getting ready to go sign with the ops with Gotti. Why should Gucci do him any favors? He's not. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Pooh Shiesty's is just fucked. You know what I'm saying? Gucci is not finna allow this brother, man, to go over there after he done fattened him up. He the one that done got him high off his clout. You know what I'm saying? Did what he had to do to get Pooh Shiesty high. Why would he just turn around after he done all this work and let him go over here to Yo Gotti? And then your boy Detective McGruff talking about, oh, well, the reason that Gucci was coming in the city signing all these people, this and that, trying to get back at Gotti. Well, all those people that he dropped, why ain't Gotti signed them?
Right.
Why is he only looking at Pooh Shiesty? Because he know it's the same thing, bro. It's a business. These CEOs got to invest money. Sometimes they might not get the money back on this. It's just like hustling. Say you got a partner, you get some shit. One of your closest homies, it's always the closest one. They fuck up the kid, they fuck this up, they owe this. I had to go pay this. I had to go get my girl this and that. Nigga, I didn't give you this shit to go do that. I gave you this to get on your feet. You might, and they don't fuck the money up over here. You go over here, you might have a lick with motherfucker taking care of business.
Balance out.
So it all balance out. It's the same thing with this. 1017 is a business, you guys. So just because he made this off Pooh Shiesty, what about all the money he lost on the other artists? He's just supposed to eat that and just give everything away. Even Vlad TV was going in about this Boosie shit about not making no money and all this other shit. So all this shit with Cam Capone, I'm talking about, well, he made 20 million off of it. He should have did it. What if the editors come in and say, you made more money off of the videos that we edited for you and hold you at gunpoint and make you cough up more money or sign over your brand and all this other shit? What you gonna do? You're gonna call the police, man. Let's just knock this shit off, bro. Real deal. So guys, at the end of the day, Pooh Shiesty them is fucked. Detective Govan is going for that pay raise. He probably already done gave them the tape. Listen how he's talking on the interviews about how stupid Pooh Shiesty them is, how fucked that. He know they not getting out of that shit. All this wishful thinking, all this theater, Pooh Shiesty them is fucked, bro. And it's they fault. Cause WAP had to call the people, man. You're not just getting out of this contract under distress.
You're not getting out like that. don't know what Pooh Shiesty thought he was doing.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
Shalom, and you're now locked in here. It's like Talk TV, where you get nothing but the raw and the real whenever I'm in front of the camera. So make sure y'all show the page some love, like, subscribe, and share.
Hey, Gucci man, LaFleur. You went and signed 100 niggas from Memphis, Tennessee to try to antagonize Gotti all because he fucked your wife. Then you dropped them little niggas and killed Pooh. And now Gotti done took Pooh Shiesty from you.
This was the video right here that he exposed that got the feds on they motherfucking bubbles.
How it feel to have a Memphis nigga, man, take your wife and your #1 artist? You gotta tighten up, Gucci. All that goofy shit you were doing. Signing 100 nigga from Memphis, Tennessee, you ain't never heard them nigga mixtape. Just signing a nigga trying to antagonize a nigga. And you know we know about the other little shit that just happened too. Yeah, we gonna run that later on though, Gucci. She real shiesty around here, I see.
I got to send shouts out to Atlantic Records, man. They gave my son a big boy chance. Gucci. I got to send shouts out to Gucci.
He should not identify them for shit. You know what he should have said when they came in this bitch?
Gucci and Pooh Shiesty, they pretty much being pretty hard on Guwap right now, and
y'all know what's going on, man.
Now Fujiano home.
Too, y'all might not like it, but I got to give my boy what he did, man. He gave my son a major chance, man. You know, I can't let y'all throw dude under the bus like that. Come on now. The truth is the truth, man. The truth is the truth. I gave nobody permission to do that. Man to man, dude took care of what he needed to take care of. Shouts out to Lord Ray, Carla, Luntrail, Gucci. Shouts out to y'all, man. Big ups to y'all, bro. We made it happen. We couldn't have did it without y'all. You hear me? But the truth is the truth. I don't know how this got out of control like this, y'all. It's ugly.
Welcome back to another episode here, Israelite Talk TV and family, coming back to you guys with another banger. Now, before I get into this message, make sure you guys go check out the more videos that I've been doing on World War III, because here comes December. It's gonna be automatic drafts, and all you young niggas, they're gonna be shipping y'all over here to go fight their war. So make sure y'all stand up on the game and not get lost in this shit. But now, y'all see the thumbnail, y'all see the title. Today, we gotta talk about this Gucci Mane situation and how Yo Gotti used Pooh Shiesty in this failed coup, okay? This failed coup, okay? And how all these people that's coming out saying that Gucci Mane is a snitch need to shut they bitch ass up. This is the first thing. All you niggas that's talking about Gucci Mane is a snitch need to shut y'all bitch ass up. It should be illegal. It should be illegal for these bloggers that ain't never been to jail, never been shot, never dropped none, okay? Don't really know how this shit really go, to be sitting up here telling, you know, directing the culture and saying this is snitch, this person is snitch, this is like, shut y'all bitch ass up, man. Okay, real deal. Okay, now, and I'm also gonna give Gucci some instructions on what he should do and extorting them over this failed coup. Okay? See, what you guys got to understand, family, is that first it was Young Dolph. Then if they got Young Dolph out the way, the next person that they've been targeting, if y'all ain't been paying attention, is who? Gucci Mane. They trying to say that Gucci Mane is the problem behind all of this shit in Memphis, the shit with Young Dolph and Gotti. But the logic don't make sense if we just take a moment to just understand this. And the famous talking point is that, oh, Gucci Mane mad at Yo Gotti because he fucked his wife, right? Well, it's the same thing with Young Dolph and Gotti. Young Dolph fucked his baby mama, right? Same hotel for 3 weeks. So what's the difference? So we gotta stop getting lost in the sauce with these weak ass talking points, and we gotta understand that Gucci fucked with Dolph. That was his guy. You know what I'm saying? And see, what's really going on, you guys, to understand this is that, see, Young Dolph was a street nigga, right? We know that he was a real street nigga. We know that he got a lot of money out the streets, okay? So he could roam freely through the Memphis streets, unlike Gotti. Gotti not no real street nigga. Gotti got to sneak around and do shit. You don't see him pulling up in Memphis with no... And people say, well, he got all these millions. He don't need to go to Memphis. Well, why rap about this gangster shit, this street shit, if you not about it? You see what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that these are people that was really street niggas that niggas saw in the streets, and it's easier for them to sign street niggas because they see they work, they see them in the streets getting busy and with the shit. It's the same thing with Guwap, okay? Guwap been stamped for a very long time, and he's had access to any trenches around the whole United States, regardless of where it's at. Niggas gonna fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? And so this was nothing more than a plot put together by Gotti and Detective Govan, okay, on trying to ex Guwap out by putting together this fake play. Hey, listen, we're gonna use Pooh Shiesty. You go in there. This is what you do. We're gonna hold him at gunpoint. And then if the nigga say anything, we're gonna destroy his credibility. You know what I'm saying? And make it seem like this nigga's a rat. He But what's the truth? Is Guwap really a snitch?
No.
Guys, it just take a little. It don't even take a whole lot to understand this. When you hear people like Stan G talking about the gangster matrix, the gangster matrix is when a nigga feel like under no circumstances a nigga should call the police, right? Nigga hold me at gunpoint. Take my car. I'm a street nigga, right? I got insurance on my vehicle and all this other shit. I might be paying notes on this motherfucker, right? Nigga hold me at gunpoint, take my car and leave. I'm not supposed to call the police. If I am legally able to carry a gun and this gun is registered to me and I get into some shit and I let that gun off, I'm not supposed to call the police. Okay? You got a business. I say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna hire you to come work for my business. I'm gonna pay you $30 an hour. Right? Okay, I'm gonna come work for you. Woo, woo, woo. After a while, you don't like making the $30. Oh, the company's making millions and millions of dollars. I want out of the contract. I'm gonna hold you at gunpoint and be like, hey man, let me out of here or sign the title over to me, to the business. Bruh, this is not no street shit. So let's just use a little logical sense. If Gucci go to his lawyer and say, just say you never called the police and did none of this shit, right? If he say to his lawyer, because remember, this ain't street shit. This 1017 is a real record label. This is a real business. This is where people checks get cut from, right? I didn't sign that. Well, how did your signature get over there? What do we tell the lawyer? Oh, I was held at gunpoint. You need to call the police and woo, woo, woo. So he had to call the police. You know what I'm saying? That's not no street shit. Y'all act like this nigga was in a drug house somewhere, nigga kicked the door in, robbed him, stripped him all this shit, or he was leaving the club, you know what I'm saying? Nigga stripped him down, man, and run this shit, you know what I'm saying? And even then, you still gotta call the police if you got insurance on your shit, duh. You know what I'm saying? Now, in a situation like that, you're not gonna identify nobody and say, this was the people that robbed me, but if it's on tape or whatever the case may be, if a motherfucker get caught, that's just so them. But you still have to call the police in order to make the report. It's no different than if somebody take your credit card, right? steal your credit card and go out here and spend and start buying shit and you didn't buy the shit, you gotta call the police and make a report and say, no, I didn't do this and that, and go through that point. So all you niggas that's running around and acting like you're not supposed to call the police under no circumstances is madness. And then y'all got to understand that he had undercover police with him, and he had the fucking the photo camera guy, you know what I'm saying? So this goes show you that they was on some dusty shit. All this money flashing and we having this and that. Bro, this is some dusty shit, bro. He's got to call the fucking police. This is not no street shit, bro. This is real business, bro. Ain't none of these niggas ran into none of these spots and held none of these CEOs at gunpoint and told them, let me out the contract. Finesse 2 times talking all this shit. But he was just on the internet about a month or two crying to Jay Prince them to let him out that contract. Now, I bet you any type of money, if he go down to Houston and try to hold Junior or Jay Prince at gunpoint and sign it, they already know he coming because he been crying and complaining. They gonna kill him, and then they gonna tell the police this is what's going on, bruh. So let's stop with all this theater. You know, most of these people that's talking are documented racks. Finesse 2 times, documented racks. These are people that went out and did shit with people and then turned around and snitched on them. Okay, these are rats, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You coming in here trying to force your way out of a contract, bruh. This is legal business, man. And you know how you know this shit is fake and that this was a staged coup? Because let's run the tape.
Whoa, man, amazing car. When did you become a millionaire?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
For the day.
Yeah.
Shiesty, he home. He still on the label.
100%. Shiesty, I got big plans for Shiesty, man. That's who I've been waiting on, Shiesty.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's gonna go up. Now. And Pooh finna come out too, and I got big plans for him too. I got to just execute these plans.
Everything right on time.
Bro, it's very exciting times now. Yeah. I've been waiting on them, I can't lie.
You can see right here that Guwap already said, like, I got shit lined up for Shiesty. We gonna woo. So if there was a problem with the money or the contract, why he didn't sit down and just say, look, Guwap, you know what I'm saying? I ain't comfortable here. I don't, you know, this and that. This is man shit, not hoe shit. This man shit. Like, I ain't comfortable with this and that. I ain't like this, or I didn't respect this and that. All this shit, all these talking points that people coming up with, it's just for the birds, bro. It's for the birds. You know what I'm saying? And then it's funny how they say, oh, Gucci dropped this snitch track, this confession track, when Detective Govan and Seti Nash already told you. See, what y'all gotta understand is that, and I'm gonna break, and listen, you guys, make sure y'all stay tuned. I've been covering this war shit, but I got an update coming on the Big Jig murder. I'm gonna explain to you why Gotti and Detective Govan is all chummy right now. I got a breaking news update coming in the Big Jig murder. Y'all stay tuned. But these guys go do this heist, right? Now think about this. Who was the first people to get the information? Seti Nash and Detective Govan, right? These are the first people to get the information, right? Y'all don't understand that Detective Govan is the biggest snitch in Memphis. Y'all, all these major platforms running around like he beat the Young Dolph case when it came out in court that he entered into a profit. He's a rat. It's the same thing with Pooh Shiesty. You talking to a real Fed baby, right? I done state time and Fed time. Anytime you enter into a proffer, because you're giving information on something and you do not want that information to be used against you. You see what I'm saying? So, just like his dad is a documented rat, Pooh Shiesty cooperated with them people too, man. It ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. See, the thing about the feds is clear cut, right? Because this is why they got the citizen guidelines to keep everything straight across the board, so that this person ain't getting a deal over this person like you see in the state. Like in the state, they might be able to work some shit out and be like, okay, but in the feds, it go off a guideline, right? To make it seem like they being fair with everybody. Anytime you start seeing these departures, these 5K1s and all this other shit, motherfuckers is cooperating, okay? The only time cut you getting in the feds is the drug program. I know through COVID, they was using that to help out they rats, the people that, like, if anybody else wouldn't have got that shit. But this is the shit that they put into motion where they can help people get out of jail that's cooperating with the government. But in the feds, it's clear cut, bro. You entered into a profit. You gave them people some information. And it was information you didn't want used against them. So at the end of the day, it's just what it is. So
that.
Hernandez Govan has already told y'all if he saw the tape, the feds got the tape. People keep saying the lawyers coming out and saying, well, if this happened, the feds don't have to. First off, Gucci Mane now most likely did not call and contact the feds. They called, if it happened in Dallas, they called the Dallas police and made a report about it. When the Dallas police got the information, they know that this guy is just got out the feds. He high profile, so they contacted the feds, and then the feds probably most likely this is when they picked it up because he was still on federal papers and on the ankle bracelet. Right, this is how slow this nigga is. Right, so when the feds pick the case up, they have to do their investigation. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you see sometimes niggas may catch cases, right? They may sit in the county for like 1 or 2 months or 3 months, and then the feds will come pick that shit up. You see what I'm saying? So the feds don't have to come pick this shit up immediately. So that's most likely what happened. They called the police, and once his name got circulated, they knew he was on federal papers. They contacted the feds, and then the feds picked it up. The reason why it took 3 months is because they too got to do their investigation. Now, run the tape.
And he right here trying to get it circulating like he still got the ring. Man, you better go look for that. Man, you better go look for your ring and quick check. For real. Save or stop 1 or 2. Ain't no way you got it, nigga. And I stand on it. You ain't got that. And a nigga unscrewed the earrings out your ear.
Now, did you guys hear that? So Detective Govan already told you that the jury was down there in the pawn shop in Memphis. He already told us that way before this shit come out. So you think the feds don't have this information? You don't think they went and got footage from these pawn shops where this shit came in at and they pawned this shit and went through this whole ordeal? They got all of the information they need. And Pushaisi is not going to be able to get out of this. I don't give a fuck how much money he paid his lawyer, because see what y'all failing to understand is that he's on federal papers. He was still in the federal halfway house. So whenever you get released from the feds, they tell you you can't be around firearms or ammunition or anything like that, being that he already had a gun case already. So that in itself, fuck the sign and fuck the jury and all of that shit. Just the fact that him being in the presence of guns is a violation of his probation. So he's going back to jail and going to do time for that. Now, everybody else, Guwap, what I would do is I would let Pushaisi that and all these people know, right? This is the tab that y'all gotta pay, right? If y'all want any type of cooperation from us, this is what we need, you know, 3-4 mil, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Make Pushaisi pay out his ass. You know what I'm saying? The little bit that he got left, right? Because we know he don't want to go back to jail, and we know that this is a Yo Gotti plot, because they told you when he was sitting in there for the bond hearing, he was shaking like a pair of craps. You know what I'm saying? Doing the stanky leg and shit in there, because he know Yo Gotti them to sent his ass off. And if you think that Govan, Detective Govan, is not going for a higher pay raise,
You must be.
y'all got to be out y'all mind. Look,
Govan is telling everything. He's telling everything. It is what it is.
look at all the money he spent on that Young Dolph case. He got to get that money back. That's why he blogging and telling and working with them people. Okay, so you tell Pushaisi, hey, listen, man, this the tag. If y'all don't want me, the bodyguard, or the cameraman to show up to court, this is what we need right here. And then when you get out, you still sign to me. You dig what I'm saying? And see, Pushaisi's career is over with, you guys, because what you gotta understand is that when he get out of jail this time, whatever deal he gonna do to try to get out of this contract with Gucci, whatever money Yo Gotti them gonna pay, they gonna put double on him on what he gonna have to pay. So he might as well just, when he get done with this, just get a wrapping up and go write a book. You might be more successful, make more money writing a book on, you know, this Gucci Man situation or whatever the case may be. So Guwap need to go ahead and monetize off of this. And the other thing I want you guys to understand is, let's not get this twisted. It's still pressure behind that situation down there. Okay? And that's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay? It's not gonna end in the court and all this other shit. It's still pressure behind that shit. Okay, so let's understand that. At the end of the day, you guys, Pooh Shiesty to me, man, he fake, bro. Because you should have just signed with Yo Gotti from the get-go.
There's a hidden second layer of the crypto market most investors will never.
That's a fact. Why he ain't just signed to him from a gun bust?
Or Gotti reach out since they both from the same area?
Yeah, for sure.
But you never wanted to sign with them, or they just never offered a deal, or it just wasn't the right situation?
Man, it just, like, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never wanted to sign to nobody. It's just my mentality. And you know, in the city, it's like you gotta sign to either one of them. You gotta be paper out of CMG. So before WAP came out, I'm still Chopper Gang. This is my label. So I wanted to be like, why you can't be signed to Chopper Gang, CMG, or paper route? Then WAP came, boom, perfect sense, you know.
Gotcha.
Man, middle of the night, one day, he texted me on Instagram.
Did you believe it, or did you think it was a lie?
I couldn't believe that shit.
How old were you then? Because you're only 20 now, right?
Yeah, I'm 21 now. I was 20.
Okay. Oh, that was last year?
Yeah.
So he just sent you a DM?
Yeah, he texted me, he said, what's up, Holmes? I couldn't believe it. I grabbed my phone, get up. I pushed somebody up on me. I said, hold on, hell no, this shit ain't real. Text him back, I say, what's chopping? He text back. Right then and there, like he was on it. He waiting on me to text back. He was like, I'm fucking with your music, Holmes. Who you doing this shit with? When I put my clothes on, shoot to Pop's house. Then my manager, I wake his ass. I said, wake up, bro, look. I showed him, he couldn't believe he get the sweat. Man, he said, right then and there though, while I'm showing him, he text back. He said, this my number, FaceTime me. I FaceTime him right there. We was on FaceTime for like 6 hours.
Word.
It was already like 3 in the morning though. He just sitting up, we just on FaceTime. But I'm gonna tell you what song he heard for sure. Mind Slime. Yep. Mind Slime did it for him, and that was the only song he heard. He was like, oh yeah, I need home ASAP. Heard that Mind
So when did you
Slime.
finally meet him in person? Did you fly out to Atlanta, or did he come out to Memphis, or?
We flew to Atlanta.
Yep. You heard what he said? It was either CMG or paper route or this and that, and then when Guap called out, come on, bro, you should have just went with CMG, bro. It just don't look good, man, because Pooh Shiesty was clouded enough where he could have easily just went to anywhere and any, major and got paid and got, you know what I'm saying, they would have worked something out with Guap, you know what I'm saying, and got him out the contract. But I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's just once again they done let Yo Gotti sit him off, and it's just what it is, bro. So all you people running around talking about Guap or snitch, this and that man had to call the police, bro. And all you super gangsters, come on, bro, we done already seen it. Y'all go out here and commit crimes with y'all homeboys, and y'all tell on y'all homeboys. This is not no street shit, bro. You cannot run it somewhere and hold a motherfucker at gunpoint. Even they had to pay Eazy-E when they tried that shit, bro. You don't think they went through the lawyers and did all it? Like, come on, bro. Like, we gotta turn the goofy down just a little bit, bro. So all the people that saying Guap a snitch, he did not fucking snitch. He did what he had to do, bro. It's these goofy ass niggas that wanted to mix the signing of a contract with the robber, and then they recorded this shit, and then they put this shit in Detective Govan hand. You know what I'm saying? You don't think the feds got all that shit? Yes, they do. And even Detective Govan came out and told y'all that, yeah, well, you know, the undercover police, yeah, he's gotta say something, cause he know this. So they sent Pooh Shiesty off, okay? And it's just what it is, bro. So if we gonna speak on this shit, let's speak on this shit correctly, bro. This ain't no street shit. This ain't Guap leaving the club and motherfucker get down on him. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Even though a motherfucker come in your crib, you still gotta call the police. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just what it is. The motherfuckers in the dirt crib, what'd he do? They had to call the police, right? You still gotta call the fucking police, dog. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, bruh, we gotta stop with this stupid ass shit with you never are supposed to call the police, and regardless of what situation it is. You call the police, you the rat. Come on, man, shut the fuck up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I be feeling. You niggas be tripping. Y'all just be wanting to sound thorough and all this and all that. Academic setting ass, man. If y'all don't get the fuck out of it.
That man had to do that because he tried to wiggle his way out the contract. So at the end of the day, y'all sitting there shit to them stupid ass bloggers that's running around, grifting, and trying to make it seem like, oh man, you know, go out, woo, woo, woo. Hell no, bro. That man had to do it. That wasn't no street shit, bro. That wasn't no street shit.
They know that. They know that. They know damn well and what, you know, they know damn well that shit wasn't no street shit and WAP ain't snitch. They know that. They know that.
Imagine if you could turn any idea in your mind into a perfect, realistic photo. No Photoshop.
Rodney Davis.
That boy smashed the phone. That is what the government says happened the moment law enforcement moved to arrest Rodney Lamont Wright Jr., known everywhere as Big 30. And if the government is right about what was on that phone before he smashed it, that one decision may have just ended his life as a free man. Because here is what Big 30 allegedly did not understand. The video was already gone. Not gone like deleted, gone like sitting on the server in a data center with a federal warrant addressed to it. This is not a story about whether Big 30 is guilty. That is for a jury to decide. This is a story about what allegedly happened when he picked up that phone and what the government says they got back from it anyway, while the title of this video says what it says. Before we get into that phone, let's establish something real quick. Big 30 and Shiesty built something together from Memphis, from the streets to records to the charts. Big 30 was not a feature on the album. He was the right hand, a day one, the one who moved everywhere Shiesty moved. And now they're moving together through a federal complaint in the Northern District of Texas. From rap to a federal complaint, adjacent kidnapping and robbery case. That is the trajectory. That is how far this thing went, homie. The government alleges Big 30's role in the Dallas studio incident was specific and hands-on, traveling from Memphis to Dallas, retrieving the bag containing the firearm, delivering that firearm inside the recording room, barricading the door while the alleged kidnapping and robbery went down. And this is the part that matters most for everything we're about to talk about. Recording the alleged Ford signing on his cell phone. That boy allegedly put the camera on it and recorded everything. That decision, according to the government, is what is sitting in the middle of this entire case. On March 30th, the government moved to arrest Big 30. When they got to him, they alleged two things happened. First, they found multiple firearms inside his whip. Second, he attempted to destroy his cell phone. The firearms are their own charge. Depending on his prior record, that is a potential standalone federal count under 18 U.S.C. Section 922G, on top of the 924C firearm count he already carries in his underlying case. More charges stacking on top of more charges. But the phone, that's where this gets painful to watch. You could destroy that phone.
It's crazy when they caught up with Dirt Ball. That ball had 4 guns on it. They was living what he rapped about.
If the government can prove it was intentional, it's a separate federal crime under 18 U.S.C. Section.
What's that? Destruction, alteration, falsification of records of further investigation and background. Never know those destroyers. Series covers falsifies or make false untrue record document tangible object with the intent to include obstruction or influence of investigation. That's what go Van do.
1519, obstruction of justice, homie, up to 20 years on top of everything else. The trip part is just here. The government does not even have to prove what was on the phone to make that stick. It just have to prove he destroyed it on purpose. A federal investigation was in motion, so he allegedly committed a crime to cover up evidence of another crime, and the cover up allegedly did not even work. That is where we are right now, homie. Here's the part that makes this so hard to understand from a street logic standpoint. People think smashing the phone destroys the evidence. In 2026, against the FBI and the ATF, that is not how it works. That has not been how it works for years. Every iPhone is designed to back itself up automatically. Every night when that phone is plugged in and on, Wi-Fi is sending your messages, your photos, your videos, your call logs, your location history, your deleted items, all of it to Apple servers. Not your phone storage, Apple storage. A server sitting in the data center that has a legal address the federal government can put a warrant on. When Big Dirty smashed that phone, he smashed the copy. The original was already somewhere else, and the government already had a warrant address to that somewhere else before that boy even touched the device. Think about what that means specifically for this case. The government alleges 30 recorded the full signing on his cell phone during the incident at the data studio. If that video existed and iCloud was doing what iCloud does every night, and there's no reason to believe it was not, that video synced to Apple servers before March 30th ever happened. The smashing of the phone did not reach the video, homie. The video was already out of that boy's hands. I'm not talking to just be talking. That is how technology works, and that is why the thumbnail on this video says what it says.
For the first time in
Let's talk about the two ways government gets phone data back, because both of them are in play right here. The first way is set up right. This is the forensic tool the FBI and ATF use on physical devices. When they get a phone, even they smash one, they send it to a forensic lab.
Our digital forensics squad consists of myself and 4 others. We intake a little over 1,500 devices a year, so it's a pretty busy lab that we have.
Inside every iPhone is a flash memory chip. That chip is small, it is built to be durable, and it does not automatically fail when the screen shatters and the housing cracks. A forensic lab can physically remove that chip from the circuit board, connect it directly to a reader, and pull the raw data straight out of it with no operating system, no password, no encryption barrier in most cases. The government also says Big Dirty destroyed the phone at the moment of arrest, meaning that boy's phone was on and actively being used. That matters because the phone that is on and unlocked has its encryption keys active in memory. That state makes the forensic extraction easier, not harder. He may have picked the worst possible moment to allegedly make that move. Celebrite's physical analyzer software then takes whatever the chip produced and turns it into a report. Messages organized by date, photos with GPS coordinates showing exactly where they were taken, videos with timestamps, location history plotted on the map, deleted content, reconstructed from storage the phone had.
That's what I said. They just gonna put it in a new phone and keep it moving.
Not yet overwritten. All of it formatted so a jury can read it on a large screen in a federal courtroom. The second way is the cloud warrant, and this is the one that makes the physical destruction almost beside the point. The government writes a warrant application showing probable cause that evidence of a crime exists in a specific Apple ID account. A federal magistrate signs it. It goes to Apple Legal's compliance team. Apple produces the iCloud backups, the photos, the messages, the videos, the FaceTime logs, the app data, everything that synced to that cloud for that time period covered by that warrant. Apple formats to production so it can be imported directly into the same software. The government ends up with a report that looks identical to what they had gotten from the physical phone without needing the phone. The phone is in pieces on the ground and the report is complete anyway. Both tracks ran simultaneously, the physical device going to the forensic lab and the cloud warrant going to Apple at the same time. Big 30 allegedly eliminated one copy of the evidence. The government had 2 more. I swear, bruh, you can't make this shit up. Here is what this looks like when it gets to a federal courtroom. In this case right here, it's definitely heading to a federal courtroom. The government called the digital forensics examiner to the witness stand. FBI or ATF agent trained and certified on the tools. The prosecutor walks them through the extraction. What tool was used, what condition the phone or the chip was in, what was recovered, and the report goes up on the big screen in front of the jury. I'm telling you right now, bruh, the government has already recovered that video, the one the alleged Big 30 took of the full signing. That video gonna play in that courtroom if that boy try to take this to trial in front of 12 jurors on a large screen with the timestamp and the GPS metadata showing exactly when and where it was recorded. That right there is what consciousness of guilt argument looks like in real time. The government does not just show the jury the video, they show the jury that the defendant tried to destroy the video and then they play it anyway. That combination right there, the attempt to destroy evidence followed by the evidence itself, is one of the most damaging sequences the jury can never watch. The defense is not without arguments though. Chain of custody on the physical evidence, extraction completeness. Element does not always get everything. Interpretation of what that data actually shows, whether the destruction was intentional or happened in the chaos of an arrest. And I'm gonna tell you this here, state of mind is always contested, but if the video is what the government says it is and they have it from the cloud backup, those are arguments being made against the jury that already watched the video. That is a hard place to be standing, you heard me? Bring it all the way back to what this means for Rodden Wright Jr., aka Big 30. He is charged in the underlying case alongside Pooh Shiesty and 7 other defendants. The government's allegation against him are specific. Not that he was in the building, but that boy was active, delivering the firearm, barricading the door, recording what happened on his phone. Then on March 30th, the government says he allegedly added an obstruction charge to everything he was already facing and did it with a move that forensic technology made pointless before that boy even made it. The FBI did not just show up to an arrest without cloud warrant was already running. Backup was already being pulled before that boy 30 even smashed the phone. Him smashing the phone was not a plan. It was that boy panicking in front of federal agents with a phone you allegedly used to record a kidnapping is not the move, homie. Big 30 is presumed innocent. These are the government's allegations, not mine. Every charge has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt in front of a jury. That process is underway, homie. But if the government has what they say they have and the technology I just walked you through explains exactly how they would have gotten it, and the title of this video is not clickbait. It's just the math, homie. It's gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in.
He's about to turn himself in, looking at life in prison.
So they just raided all my houses.
And the last name he says
raided my houses and my property.
Is Whack 100.
It was actually about whack.
Blaming the man who turned street ties into influence.
Right, we've been to war. You know what a prison war is?
With base 44, a simple sentence becomes your website. Page after page, ready for business. Plug in what you need, connect payments, sync calendars, and voila, watch notifications fly in.
Everybody is beefing over this Iceman release. Academics just crashed out on Fantano. Ebro crashed out on Academics. I crashed out on Elliot Wilson, Charlamagne. It's insane madness. So what's going on is everybody is rushing to be the first to predict when Drake is dropping Iceman. This entire drama started 72 hours ago. Academics tweeted, "The Iceman is coming. Stay alert." Now, when Academics tweeted this out, this led to a lot of content creators trying to beat Academics to the punch. One of the people who tried to beat Academics to the punch because they seen how viral Academics Iceman tweet went is Anthony Fantano. Now, Fantano, he didn't do what Academics did. Now, Academics just say, yo, Iceman is coming and let people speculate it. Fantano actually gave a date, gave a time frame. He said Iceman was going to be dropping in 36 hours.
Drake, Iceman, it is happening. Based on my exclusive source, Iceman will be dropping in the next 36 hours. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out. Iceman, in 36 hours, you're welcome.
Obviously, if you're watching this video, then you know that Iceman has not dropped and Anthony Fantano prediction did not come true. But academics crashed out on Fantano and other people who were trying to beat him to the punch and drop breaking news, even though
their own super label. But in hip-hop, friendships can be destroyed by the smallest perceived disrespects. And what happened in October 2012 would prove that even the strongest bonds can be broken when pride and ego get involved. The culture of hip-hop is built on respect, authenticity, and loyalty. When those principles get violated, the consequences can last for decades. And as we're about to see, what started as a simple misunderstanding about release dates would eventually lead to stolen wives, funeral drama, and allegedly armed robbery. October 2012 should have been one of the biggest months in Gucci Mane's career. He had been building anticipation for his new project, Trap God, for weeks, conducting interviews, dropping snippets, and making sure everyone knew that October 17th was going to be a special day. And for Gucci Mane, the 17th wasn't just any random date, it was sacred. See, most people don't understand the significance of the number 17 in Gucci Mane's brand. His label is called 1017 Records, which represents October 17th on the calendar. This date has deep personal meaning for him, and dropping projects on the 17th of any month had become his signature move. It was his way of stamping his identity on the culture and creating a brand that was uniquely his. Gucci Mane had been promoting Trap God as his return to form, a project that would remind everyone why he was considered the godfather of trap music. The marketing campaign was in full swing, the features were locked in, and everything was set for what should have been a triumphant release. Then, out of nowhere, Yo Gotti announced that he was also dropping a mixtape on October 17th. Now,
it can be scary to pursue your dream, but it's also exciting. I built a Wix website in one night, and it...
According to Gotti's version of events, he knew Gucci Mane was dropping that day, but he thought it would be incredible for both of them to release projects simultaneously. In his mind, they were brothers in the game, so why not dominate the internet together? He envisioned fans going crazy over having new music from both artists on the same day, with both projects complementing each other and creating a moment that would be remembered in hip-hop history. But Gucci Mane saw the situation completely differently. To him, this wasn't collaboration. This was straight-up disrespect and wave riding. Yo Gotti was trying to piggyback off the 1017 brand that Gucci Mane had spent years building. He was attempting to profit off Gucci Mane's marketing campaign and steal thunder that rightfully belonged to Trap God. The moment Gotti's announcement hit the internet, Gucci Mane felt violated. This was his date, his brand, his moment, and his supposed friend was trying to crash the party without permission. Yo Gotti immediately recognized that something was wrong and tried to reach out. He called Gucci Mane's phone multiple times, but the calls went straight to voicemail. He hit up people in Gucci Mane's camp, asking them to have their boss call him back so they could talk through the situation. He even tried reaching out through mutual friends and industry connections, but Gucci Mane was giving him the complete silent treatment. Instead of handling the situation privately, Gucci Mane took his frustration to Twitter, which in 2012 was the primary platform for hip-hop drama. His tweet was short but devastating. Why would another artist put their mixtape out on 1017 if they ain't Brick Squad? You ain't me, Trap God. That tweet changed everything. It wasn't just a private conversation between friends anymore. This was public disrespect that the entire hip-hop community could see. Gucci Mane was essentially calling out Yo Gotti for being fake and trying to ride his wave. Yo Gotti was genuinely confused by the response. He had never intended any disrespect, and he couldn't understand why his friend was reacting so strongly to what he saw as a collaborative opportunity. But recognizing that the situation was escalating, he made the decision to move his release date to October 18th, hoping that would resolve the conflict. But the damage was already done. Gucci Mane felt that the very fact that Gotti had announced the same release date showed a fundamental lack of respect for their friendship and his brand. In his mind, a real friend would have called first to discuss the idea, not just announced it publicly and forced him to react. The situation got even more complicated when Gucci Mane brought up another issue that had been bothering him. During a radio interview, he pointed out that Yo Gotti had been working with his enemies, specifically Jayz and T.I., two artists who Gucci Mane had serious long-standing beef with. Gotti had recently dropped a remix to his Track Racks featuring both Jayz and T.I., and to Gucci Mane that was another sign of disloyalty. How could someone who claimed to be his friend work so closely with people who had actively tried to destroy his career? But here's where the situation becomes hypocritical. Around the same time, Gucci Mane was working closely with Young Dolph, who happened to be one of Yo Gotti's biggest enemies in Memphis. So both artists were collaborating with each other's ops. But only Gucci Mane was making it a public issue. The double standard was obvious, but Gucci Mane was too deep in his feelings to see it objectively. He felt betrayed, disrespected, and abandoned by someone he had considered a real friend. Things reached a breaking point when Gucci Mane decided to air out all his grievances during a radio interview. My main problem with him is that he dropped his mixtape on 1017 and tried to ride my wave, Gucci Mane said. Why would you drop it if you ain't on 1017? And when I call you as my partner to ask why you did it, you say, "Oh, I didn't know you were dropping a mixtape." Gucci Mane wasn't buying Gotti's explanation at all. He had been promoting Trap God for months, doing interviews, posting on social media, and making it clear that October 17th was going to be a major moment. There was no way someone as connected as Yo Gotti didn't know about the release date. The public nature of Gucci Mane's complaints made reconciliation almost impossible. Once you air out your problems with someone on the radio, it becomes about more than just the original issue. It becomes about
saying y'all keep telling me I was over a female and this. Don't make sense.
Pride, reputation, and who's going to back down first. Once Gucci Mane took the beef public through that radio interview, there was no going back to the friendship they once had. The hip-hop community was watching, fans were picking sides, and both artists felt pressure to defend their positions through the most traditional method in rap culture, diss tracks. Gucci Mane struck first with a song called Birds of a Feather, which was essentially a multi-target diss track aimed at several people who had disappointed him. But the line that hit Yo Gotti the hardest was, "I used to mess with Gotti until he turned into a buster." In hip-hop terminology, calling someone a buster is one of the most disrespectful things you can say. It implies that they're fake, weak, and not really about the life they rap about. For someone like Yo Gotti, who had built his entire career on authenticity and street credibility, being called a buster by a respected peer was devastating. The song didn't just attack Gotti's character, it questioned his entire identity as an artist and a man. Gucci Mane was essentially telling the world that he had misjudged Yo Gotti's character and that their friendship had been based on false pretenses. Yo Gotti's initial response showed just how much the diss had hurt him personally. In interviews, he expressed genuine disappointment rather than anger. "I'm more disappointed in him than anything because I looked at him different," Gotti said. "What I perceived in him is not what he's playing out. I thought he was a straight-up stand-up guy, street-type dude, and street dudes don't handle business."
Hey, my name is Jerry Norton, and in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how to make $5,000 to $20,000 flipping houses using this contract.
Like that. This response revealed something important about their relationship. It wasn't just a business partnership that had gone wrong. These were two men who had genuinely respected and cared about each other, which made the betrayal feel even more personal. Gotti went on to explain that even people in Gucci Mane's own camp were confused by the diss. "Even the dudes in Gucci's camp don't understand why he was dissing me on the record," he said. This suggested that the beef wasn't based on any real wrongdoing, but rather on Gucci Mane's perception of disrespect. Initially, Yo Gotti tried to take the high road. He was hurt, disappointed, and confused, but he didn't want to escalate the situation into a full-blown rap war. He had too much respect for what they had built together, and he hoped that cooler heads would eventually prevail. But as the weeks went by and Gucci Mane continued to take shots in interviews and on social media, Gotti realized that his former friend wasn't interested in reconciliation. The disrespect had become too public and too personal to ignore. Finally, Yo Gotti decided he had to respond. He dropped a diss track called Have Mercy, which was his way of defending his reputation and firing back at Gucci Mane's accusations. The song was hard, direct, and made it clear that their friendship was officially over. Have Mercy didn't just respond to Gucci Mane's disses. It questioned his motives and suggested that he was acting out of jealousy rather than legitimate grievances. Gotti painted Gucci Mane as someone who couldn't handle seeing his friends succeed independently. The exchange of diss tracks marked the point of no return in their relationship. What had started as a misunderstanding about release dates had now become a public rap beef with both artists' reputations on the line. But even at this stage, the beef was still relatively contained. It was about business, respect, and artistic differences. Neither artist could have predicted how personal and destructive things were about to become. The hip-hop community was divided in their reactions. Some fans felt that Gucci Mane was overreacting to what seemed like a minor issue. Others supported his position that Yo Gotti should have shown more respect for the 1017 brand and asked permission before dropping on the same date. Industry insiders were disappointed to see two of the South's biggest stars feuding over what seemed like a resolvable conflict. Many people tried to play peacemaker behind the scenes, but both artists were too proud to back down. What nobody realized at the time was that this public beef was just the beginning. The real betrayal, the one that would make reconciliation impossible, was still to come. Just when it seemed like the beef between Gucci Mane and Yo Gotti might eventually blow over, Gotti dropped a bombshell during a Breakfast Club interview that would change everything forever. What he revealed wasn't just another diss or business dispute, it was a personal violation so deep that it would haunt their relationship for over a decade. During the interview, Yo Gotti casually mentioned that while Gucci Mane was locked up on a probation violation, he had slept with Gucci Mane's girlfriend, Keisha Kaoyer. The way he
Do you currently receive government benefits, such as Medicaid, SNAP food stamps, SSI, or wait?
Everybody is beefing over this Iceman release. Academics just crashed out on Fantano. Ebro crashed out on Academics. Ad crashed out.
The way Gucci came home, you know, I took notes from there, like how he switched it up. It motivated me to move how I'm moving like towards today too. So we got a lot of the similar traits because I realized that he woke up when he was in there. Another thing he told me too, so I said, you 20 years old going to go see what I saw at 35 years old. You got a head start, you got to get this out the way early. It could have been too late for me if I wouldn't ever came out and played it right. So take advantage of that too. That stuck with me.
So as you guys know, Gucci Mane's 2026 started off by him getting robbed by his biggest artist. The world is in shambles, and things are only getting stranger in this entire situation. For starters, many people are taking it way back to the days of 2016, when the world was questioning, is Gucci Mane a clone? It wasn't just how he acted, which was great. It was definitely a positive step in the right direction, but there were like physical aspects of his appearance that just straight up did not look like the old Gucci Mane.
I study
rapaholics
for a living.
You know that live streamer there, Clavicular, who smashes his face and shoots meth just to get a sharper jawline? Yeah, back in the day, it literally looked like Gucci Mane went under one of those looks maxing operations. The beer belly was gone, his face was a whole other shape. Anyways, I bring this up to say, we've come a long way from the Gucci Mane that was dominating the mixtape scene, the Atlanta trap scene back in the mid-2000s. He's allegedly getting robbed by artists in 2026, but back in like 2006, he wanted to be a part of BMF, and they literally told him he couldn't be a part of the gang because he himself was robbing too much.
Should have done me and be so antisocial with me, and now I'm fucking with you. I already wrong. They just like doing the best. Boy, I wanted to be BMF so bad back in the day. I'm gonna be real. J-Boy Meek told me, yeah, we gotta get you in. Too gangster. Keep the script. Got nigga Blue said, man. That's why I fought him to the day. Yeah, I just had to sit down about you. Yeah, we ain't gonna let you in. Yeah, I be robbing too much. But we fuck with you, know, we just smash them for you. Cause they did. Damn, they crushed them. But at the same time, we can't let you in, dog. Yeah, you be robbing too much. I ain't even made robbing my black teeth. Bro, we got them along. We keep footage. You ain't gonna try her. I said, bro, what you talking about? He said, bro, every time I see you, you got an airbrush shirt on.
There were several stories of Gucci Mane robbing artists, promoters. Nobody was safe.
Because Gucci was the real boogeyman in Atlanta.
Back in the day.
The goddamn Gucci Mane, man. Tell us a little bit about what happened with Gucci Mane and your interaction with him, man.
They had him out in Chicago for a series of events, right? According to the guys who had booked him, this was right before he had went to jail. He was getting wild with the world for a little while. You feel me? So this was right before he had went to jail. So they was coming.
They call me CC be capping.
To get him from his hotel, and apparently he had asked for his whole payment beforehand. So he got all the money. They were ready to pick him up, take him to the venue, and he told him he wasn't going. You feel me? He barricaded himself in the hotel. Other security dudes get to calling me, promoters calling me, man, bro, we need you to help us get Gucci out of this hotel room. I'm like, where's he at? They give me the location. I'm like, so what's the situation? They break it down to me. They really just want to get their money back. I'm like, okay, well, y'all call him. He ain't answering the phone, etc. He's trying to wait us out. So what y'all want me to do? I want you to go to the hotel room and get him out of there. I'm like, what? He gonna smoke us. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, bro, they was adamant about it, bro. They had other bodyguards calling me, promoters offering me money and all type of stuff. I'm just looking like, man, y'all want me to, this man already went to jail for murder, man. Like, obviously off the Molly right now, tripping with everybody. So like, he was on it, bro. He had a fight with a guy at Forest City Mall earlier that day. I'm like, damn, Gucci in the mall fighting? And he barricaded himself in that room. Shit, he left with that money, man. Just know he drove to Chicago. Had a Hummer on some big ass rims. He drove there. I said, he drove there from Atlanta. I say, oh yeah, he wilding right now. Gucci lit right now.
Yeah,
that was a crazy
man.
experience right there.
Now, it wasn't just promoters. Even as recently as November of 2025, Gucci Mane's first female artist, Mac Breezy, had done an interview where she said that she was used by Gucci Mane and never got the money she deserved for the work that she did with him.
As far as like the music, all I ever asked for was my credit for what I contributed to the songs. So all the songs that I wrote hooks and verses on, I'm entitled. I should be entitled to the percentages for what I contributed to those records. What did I do to deserve this? I don't even care what people got to say. I'm just trying to get my story out. I want the truth to be out because they don't know. They just fans. These folks don't know. They wasn't there. They don't know what happened to me. And nobody's speaking out. Nobody been taking up for me. All my celebrity industry friends who I thought, well, you ain't got no friends in the industry. That nigga stole my ideals. He stole, like, he used me and he discarded me.
Hey guys, it's Dylan. If you're like me and you like getting paid to give your opinion, then go to beforthright.com. Sign up and Forthright will...
Now, I think this particular situation is very interesting because it definitely foreshadowed a lot of what we'd see with the whole Pooh Shiesty situation, right? We don't know for sure what Pooh's motive was to rob Gucci Mane to get out of his contract, but we know for a fact he wanted out of that deal. To me, the saddest part of this entire thing is that his own father was right there next to him thinking that this was the right way to actually get Pooh to be a free agent. I mean, even in the complaint, it says that Pooh had asked his father, like, as he had Gucci Mane at gunpoint, allegedly, does this contract look perfect? Like, what Gucci Mane signed, will that let me out of my deal with 1017 Records? And the dad even told him, like, no, he needs to sign the date on the contract. As if signing the date is going to magically erase the fact that Gucci Mane was signing this thing while being held at gunpoint, right? Obviously, that contract will be null and void. But I digress. Whether it was Yo Gotti that Pooh Shiesty wanted to sign to, or maybe he just wanted to be a free agent in general, it paints an interesting picture in terms of how Gucci Mane has been treating his artists. And ever since this situation transpired, a lot more of Gucci's artists have now spoken up. A couple of years ago, Gucci Mane had started the new 1017 record label. He signed a bunch of artists out of Memphis, not just Pooh Shiesty. And by the way, I did a whole breakdown on the history of Yo Gotti, Gucci Mane, how Pooh Shiesty is kind of interconnected there and how it led up to the point where Pooh Shiesty is now robbing Gucci Mane. So I'll leave a link to that video in the description. But now we're seeing the after effects of that situation because Gucci Mane signed this whole new roster, the new 1017. But by around 2024, he actually announced that he would be dropping everyone from the label except for Pooh Shiesty. It almost seemed like Gucci may have been subliminally kind of taunting Pooh in this video, letting him know, like, hey, all these other guys, they're allowed to get out the deal, but you're successful. I need to keep on to you because you're my cash cow, right? Like the way he's talking about all his artists here and how disposable they are.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this, man, but no, I'm lying. Hey, Gucci Mane, LaFleur, you went and signed 100 from Memphis, Tennessee, to try to antagonize Gotti all because he your wife.
Now I'm gonna go bang his girl.
I ain't already done that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you banged your partner's girl.
Damn, guy. Hey, my friend, man.
Then you dropped him and killed Pooh.
You know, it's almost like a whole show in the industry right now, but when I look at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm gonna have to release almost all my artists, except for Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano.
And not Gotti done took Pooh Shiesty from you.
I'm the biggest, ain't no CEO or OG over me. CEO.
Hey, Gucci LaFleur, they say when you get married, man, you supposed to always keep your wedding ring on. My bad, Gucci. You don't know where yours is.
Go Van. Go Van. Go Van.
Hello, breeze and gentlegrams. Gucci Mane, Mr. 2 Icy Rob by Pookie. Now they saying Pooh Shiesty? If not in the physical form, then in the residual issues. Contract split through CMG in 1017. Pooh pit 2 Titans head to head over the cheese. See, Pooh's sitting nicely at the top of the chart, signed under Gucci Mane, who still wants to profit off of the art. But Pooh had a change of heart and things had started to get dark, robbing rumors and internet assumers putting Gucci as the target. Let's unpack the situation, top to bottom, nothing vacant. But before we get to breaking, you know what I'm about to say. Squeeze those like and subscribe buttons like Gucci Mane's lemonade.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
I study rap
Alcoholics.
for a living.
October 6, 2025. Pooh Shiesty is released from federal prison after serving around 3 years of a 63-month sentence related to a 2020 shooting incident in Florida. It took Pooh Shiesty a couple months to actually make his first statement, but when he did, it accomplished a couple important things for hip-hop fans. Number one, it let the world know that in a sea of mediocrity, half-baked albums from hip-hop's biggest street rappers and trap artists, Pooh had surpassed them all with just one song, and all he did was keep it authentic and talk about what was going on in his everyday life. Another important thing he proved to the world is that bars still matter. I mean, this was just a 4-minute song of him straight rapping and it still went to #1 on the charts. That's a very impressive look for an artist within a genre that everyone is saying is losing its mainstream dominance. I mean, he was even beating out Mariah Carey on Christmas. But when you dig deeper into this song, fans had noticed some interesting aspects about Pooh Shiesty's return. On the song, he's got bars like, "Grandma told me keep the grass low, whole time, I'm the snake." But even darker than that, he's got a bar where he raps, "Type influence I got where I'm from, I got Yo Gotti toting a Drake." A Drake being slang for Draco and Pooh Shiesty being signed to Gucci Mane, who has a long history of not really getting along with Yo Gotti.
I said Gotti was cool until he turned into a buster.
People couldn't tell if Pooh Shiesty was either dissing Yo Gotti here or dissing Gucci Mane, because the bar could be interpreted in two ways. Are you riding with Gucci and you have so much influence where you're from that Yo Gotti needs a Draco on him for protection, or is this your way of saying that even, legends in Memphis like Yo Gotti are influenced by you?
That's what I get. Yo Gotti is influenced by.
Kind of as a way to pay him homage. Why would Pooh Shiesty on his first day out song start rapping about a guy who is beefing with the guy that Pooh Shiesty is signed to? It didn't necessarily make sense, but it does once we unpack it. See, another thing that fans found weird is that when Pooh Shiesty got released, he linked up with Glorilla in the studio, and they were previewing new music.
Didn't I tell you all that?
Let's go.
This is also a little strange because Glorilla is signed to Yo Gotti's record label, CMG. So it's unlikely that on that first day out song, Pooh Shiesty was dissing Yo Gotti, because here he is, right as he comes out, linking up with Yo Gotti's artists. Now on the surface, you can look at this and say it's just an innocent collaboration between two of the biggest artists in mainstream hip-hop right now. But when you look deeper at everything that has happened between Yo Gotti and Gucci Mane, and what we now know about Pooh Shiesty and his own father being locked up for allegedly robbing Gucci Mane.
Hey, Gucci LaFleur, I grew up around my granddad and them, bro. They say when you get married, man, you supposed to always keep your wedding ring on. My bad, Gucci. You don't know where yours is.
It becomes apparent that that link-up was probably one of many calculated tactics to essentially put Gucci Mane in a compromised position. And this is just the beginning. Things could get dark. But in order to understand that, we gotta understand why it would be such a slap in the face to Gucci Mane for Pooh Shiesty to even slightly associate himself with anything related to Yo Gotti.
Put on the stupidest shit the street and heard in a minute. This shit is needed, you know what I'm talking about? It's needed.
I'm telling you now, they charge you for that. I'm cooking it for you. I cook it for you now. I got to charge you.
It work.
Did that work? Did that work, man? Hey, drop a whole shipment on it. Boom, go ahead.
Before Gucci Mane and Yo Gotti were known as some of the biggest CEOs in their cities, with each of them ushering in tons of new superstars into the game. At one point, it was Yo Gotti and Gucci that were the stars trying to build their own rap careers. Even though they were raised in different cities, Gucci and Gotti had similar come-ups in the streets, and both of them actually started pursuing a rap career at the age of 14 years old. Gotti was first up, releasing independent mixtapes as early as 1996. Under the name Lil Yo. So just keep that in mind with all this beefing going on currently today. Yo Gotti is 44 years old.
I'm looking for a victim pushing keys on the scheme. I wanna make a stain for $1 million ride clean. I'm coming out on a Friday and I gotta hit the strip.
It was around 2007 where both Gucci and Gotti started making waves in the mainstream, and they quickly began collaborating with each other quite frequently. First on the song Bricks in 2008. Later that year, in June of 2008, they released a mixtape together called Definition of a G.
Go ahead, man. Hey, what next week? We said we'll put it out by next week. Yo, how they say?
Well, they don't tell you what it's by.
They ain't gonna tell you.
Nah, they ain't gonna take that.
What?
Come on, do the mid-thing.
Today, by next week, we said we're gonna have it.
So you got Yo Gotti up in there.
Yeah.
Looks like you be f***ing with Yo Gotti kind of hard right there. How y'all link up?
I met him. I think we met downtown at Upstairs Studio. Just made 2 hard ass songs with my first city, Chicken Talk, and just a real nigga, just like Shout. Like I don't f*** a lot of niggas in the game, but you know a real nigga when you be around one. You know what I mean? And because it be true talk, you can tell by the tone of voice when he talking the truth. And then even if he talking the truth, he still might not be creative enough to make a song where you want to hear it. There's a lot of.
If you're a producer who hates AI, this plugin might change your mind. This is Reimagine in Co-Producer. You can take any sample you find and flip it into infinite, one-of-a-kind variations that are unique to you. Here's how it works. Just open up your DAW and drop in the Co-Producer plugin from Output. It listens to your track and finds samples that match your vibe, key, and rhythm. Just search for a sample you're looking for, like Dreamy Synth. Now let's say you like this, but you want something a bit more unexpected. Just hit Reimagine and boom, it transforms Output's premium musician-made samples into endless unique flips. Always original, always uniquely yours. And the best part is, unlike other AI sample tools, Reimagine gives you unlimited access, no credits and no limits to hold you back. Uses ethically trained AI from Output's royalty-free sample library. And it works in any DAW, so you can drag and drop sounds right into your session. Find it, flip it, always sound original. Reimagine is live now.
A lot of factors in them.
And they collaborated pretty heavily for the next few years, with Gotti even rumored to have potentially signed to Gucci's iconic label 1017 Brick Squad. This was around 2010, 2011, but by 2012 they had a problem. See, in October of 2012, on the 17th day of the month to be exact, Gucci Mane was about to release his brand new mixtape, Trap God. See, October's the 10th month of the year, so that release date would make it 1017, the same name as Gucci's label. Now, this was a big project for Gucci just because he caught a big mainstream break in 2009 with his album The State vs. Roger Davis, but after that album, all the way up until the middle of 2011, Gucci Mane would be arrested 5 different times, obviously hindering his actual career. So this was kind of acting like a comeback project for Gucci in a way, and meanwhile, Gotti then announces he's also going to be dropping a project on that day. According to Yo Gotti, he didn't know Gucci was dropping his project on the 17th, but when he found out, he was actually excited that they were both going to release on the same day. He said in an interview, "He's supposed to be my homeboy. I had his phone immediately because I'm thinking, man, we're about to shut it down. Both our projects on the same day." But ultimately, this isn't how Gucci saw it. Yo Gotti says he tried to reach out to talk things through, but Gucci Mane never hit him back or answered any of his calls. Then, right before the release date, Gucci Mane went on Twitter and wrote, "Why would another artist put their mixtape out on 1017 if they're not Brick Squad? You ain't me, Trap God." And once Gotti did get in touch with Gucci, he realized they had a problem and said in another interview, "From that point, I realized homie had an issue for whatever reason." Now, as far as where the issue emerged from Gucci's side of things, he's saying it's because Yo Gotti was not signed to Brick Squad, Gucci was not profiting off of his mixtape, but still he's trying to drop on the same day as Gucci and on a day that's significant to Gucci's brand, Gucci's movement, 1017. He's basically riding Gucci's wave without actually compensating him. That was Gucci's perspective, and he spoke on that in a radio interview, but there's more to the story.
And they're gonna think that you're talking crap about Gotti and these other cats. And when
I said Gotti was cool until he turned into a buster.
Right.
So I wasn't saying that we wasn't even cool. I said we was cool until this point right here.
Right. But that's my point.
So what actually happened at that point that you felt like that about Gotti?
My main problem with him was they dropped this mixtape on 1017 and tried to like ride my wave. You know what I'm saying? Like he was an artist of mine and we get some kind of money together. So I just felt like, you know, for our artists to drop their mixtape on 1017, you know what I'm saying? Which is my label on the day that I drop all my label mates drop their mixtape on 1017. Why would you drop it if you ain't on 1017? And when I call you as my partner to ask you why you did, you say, oh, I didn't know you were dropping the mixtape. Now the whole world know I'm dropping this mixtape, I'm promoting this mixtape. But me and you on the top of World Star, you with a freestyle and me with a video, but you say you're unaware that this mixtape gonna come, and I got a battle that says come out 1017.
See, there's always three sides to every story. What one party says, what the other party says, then somewhere in the middle you get the truth. So Gucci's side is that Gotti was trying to ride his wave dropping on the same day, 10/17. Meanwhile, Gotti goes up to the Breakfast Club right after Gucci has that explosive episode on Twitter, which we'll touch on shortly. But Gotti explains in his interview with the
Gotti know. And look at Dolph in the background now. Gotti know. Gotti knew exactly what he was doing.
Breakfast Club that Gucci's reason for turning on him is because Gotti featured young Jayz on his remix to the song Got That Sack a couple months before 10/17 in July of 2012. Now, just some quick context if you guys didn't know, Gucci and Jayz have had a beef since the beginning of time, and a lot of it mirrors what's going on today with Gucci, Pooh Shiesty, and potentially Yo Gotti. For those of you who didn't know, essentially, Gucci and Jayz actually collaborated on Gucci's first hit, Icy, way back in 2005. Jayz thought it would be on his debut album, Let's Get It Thug Motivation 101, but instead Gucci used it for his independent album, Trap House, and Jayz claimed he never got paid for the track. So a couple months later, Jayz puts a bounty on Gucci Mane's chain, declaring it on the song Stay Strapped, rapping, I got a bounty on that stuff, my guy, 10 stacks. So if you come to your town and you just happen to snatch that mother effer off his neck, I'm gonna shoot you the 10 stack, man, so I can cremate that mother effer. Gucci would reply just a couple days later, calling Jayz a B-word on the song Round 1, but the exchange would get a lot more heated than just shots traded back and forth in the studio, because on May 10th, when Gucci was visiting a female friend, 4 men broke into the house and began assaulting him. When the men threatened to shoot him, Gucci grabbed his pistol and started shooting.
Okay, great. Wait, were you even listening? You haven't taken a single note this entire meeting?
I'm actually listening better than I ever have. Let me share my screen. Do you see this? Everything we're saying is being transcribed in real time. Look, word for word. That's exactly what you just said.
Wait, so you're not taking notes because...
Because Otter is. And I can even use the chat function as well. So, for example, what did we decide on the budget? Just like that. See? Instant answer.
That's actually incredible.
Right? And the best part is, after this meeting, I'll get a full custom summary based on the meeting type, action items, and it's all generated automatically and organized for me. I'm actually more present in meetings now because I'm not frantically typing.
Okay.
Back after hitting one of the men.
Like, so Gucci taking, so Yo Gotti taking up Jayz beef?
Everybody fled the scene. And that man ended up being Henry Lee Clark III, better known as the rapper Pookie Loc. Just days later, Gucci Mane turned himself into the police after a warrant was issued for the unaliving of Pookie Loc. Gucci maintained his innocence, and 9 months later, after being charged with murder, Gucci was acquitted since it was self-defense. And years later, even though he went head-to-head with Jayz in a live versus, he still references this dark incident.
When I extended the invitation, I did it as a real man. Because I
told you straight off the dribble. I told you off the dribble, we can't do nothing if it ain't street. If I can't perform the truth, we can't do it.
It's all good. But let me say my piece. Let me say my piece.
Take on.
Let me say my piece. It's like this, bro. I extended my hand because I'm a real man. And the shit we came from in the street, dog, you seen it, we been through it, dog. 20 years. And when I said I wanted to do this shit for the culture, That's what I wanted to do. I brought you here to show you the world care about what the we got going on, because we are the culture. You feel me? Me and you, where we came from, what we been through. Us, me and you. All these kids out here doing what the they do, because they saw what went on with us, dog. So this ain't about me, this ain't about you. You feel what I'm saying? This is about King Von. This is about Dope B. This is about Nipsey Hussle. This is about motherfucking Pop Smoke.
Now, the Jayz beef will play an important role in this story shortly, but for now it's just important to note that Gotti ultimately thought Jayz didn't mess with him because Gotti had collaborated with Jayz on a remix to one of his songs. And that would seem like a pretty valid reason, right? Jayz is probably the biggest rapper in Atlanta at the time, second to Tip, and he's also Gucci's biggest rival. So Gotti, not only just releasing an album on the same day as Gucci, 1017, also now collaborating with Jayz, it was all a slap in the face. But Charlemagne, while Gotti was on The Breakfast Club explaining this to the world, some even deeper information was revealed, in that Yo Gotti had actually slept with Gucci Mane's current wife, Keisha Kior, before Gucci had married her. And Gotti admitted this in his Breakfast Club interview.
I hit Holmes up, like, because, you know, when you consider somebody a partner, to me, that's the way you, I hit him up, like, what's up with you, Holmes? You like, what you mean, what's up? He didn't even speak about what he tweeted. He was like, oh, man, you put Jayz and Tip on the Rex remix. Jayz tried to kill me. Man, you and Holmes been in the same city 28 years, and you just not realizing that?
Then he went to jail, and you started dating Keisha Dior.
Nah, then it was like, to me, I still felt like he was cool, because like, then he got on the radio and said something. That's when it was like, okay, I don't cross that line, like, it'll never be like, we cool no more.
Now I'm gonna go bang his girl.
I had already done that.
Oh, okay. So you banged your partner's girl?
Damn,
I didn't know that.
You ain't my friend, man. I ain't know, like, you know, like, you in love and all that.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, I'm thinking it ain't nothing like where they about to get married or nothing like that. Like,
so keep in mind, this is now the woman who basically has full access to Gucci Mane's
Did Keisha Dior ever deny it?
phone, social media, his entire life essentially, to avoid him from doing or saying something he'll regret during a bipolar episode. This is the same woman that held Gucci Mane down when he was doing all of those years in prison. This is his wife. And Yo Gotti, who was supposed to be Gucci Mane's friend, admitted to sleeping with her. Now, before Keisha was doing the whole thing of, you know, taking Gucci's phone, removing his social media so he can't go on there and say something he regrets when he is suffering from a mental health episode, back in 2013 when all this was going down, Gucci didn't have the support like that. So there was one day, most of you guys probably know, where he had that infamous rant on Twitter where he attacked Nicki Minaj, Drake, Rick Ross, and obviously a lot more, right? Like, this was a generational rant. This was Gucci Mane's control verse. Like, the way Kendrick called out all those rappers on that verse, Gucci did the same on Twitter. And obviously Gotti was one of the many rappers that Gucci called out on Twitter around this time. But what's interesting is a couple hours later, he ends up apologizing for the rant. But he only directly apologizes to Birdman, Rick Ross, and Drake. He was incarcerated at the time. He admitted that he was suffering from an addiction to lean. It was a difficult period for him in his life, and he even reflected on it in a book recently, but again, made specific references to certain rappers that he felt he disrespected, but he made no mention of the fact that he disrespected his once close collaborator, Yo Gotti.
I was super embarrassed and hurt by the things I said because, like, I wasn't well then, right? So then I got locked up. So a lot of those people who I was saying stuff to, they were like, they never gonna mess with me no more. So even when I got out 3 years later, I still was like, I apologize to Ross, Drake.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Nicki, like, all them people accepting my apologies, they just don't know. It's like a weight off my shoulders because I had been like, because I was wrong. Like, Ross hadn't did nothing but help me. And I said something about...
So it makes you think, with Gucci coming out of prison finally by 2016 and being a changed man seemingly, the change being so drastic people even thought he was cloned, you would think that ultimately Gucci and Gotti can put their issues aside. I mean, by 2016, 2017, they're more focused on being CEOs than, you know, rap superstars. So the fact that Gotti was trying to put his mixtape out on 1017, that should be water under the bridge at this point. At this point also, Gucci seems to be trying to get that water under the bridge with Jayz, putting their issues aside to actually collaborate on a verses.
20 years. And when I said I wanted to do this for the culture, That's what I wanted to do. I brought you here to show you the world care about what the we got going on, because we are the culture.
So if Gucci's issues with Yo Gotti stem from Yo Gotti putting Jayz on a remix, then you'd think at this point Gotti and Gucci can bury the hatchet since Gucci and Jayz are reconciling their differences, right? Well, they never did in the public eye to this day. And remember, there was one other potential reason as to why Gotti and Gucci were beefing in the first place, and that was none other than Keyshia Ka'oir. See, when Gucci got out of jail, that's when Keyshia Ka'oir began standing right by Gucci's side, and they eventually got married. In late 2025, Hernandez Govin, the man who was charged with organizing the daytime ambush killing of Memphis rapper Young Dolph, who also had beef with Yo Gotti, Hernandez was basically found not guilty. And once he was a free man, he ended up sitting down with No Jumper, where he details the history of the beef between Gucci Mane and Yo Gotti. Now, according to Hernandez, Gotti allegedly was possibly sleeping with Gucci's wife while Gucci was locked up. Because of that, their beef could never be squashed. Now, remember that name, Hernandez Govin, because that's going to play an important role with what's going down with Pooh Shiesty today.
I think when they had the issue back in the day about when Gucci had the issue when Gotti was supposed to drop on 10/17. Okay, yeah. And they had a show coming up soon, right after Gucci went on the radio or whatever it was and had his rant. And what I was told, Gucci didn't show up to that show because it supposed to have been like immediate smoke after that, and he didn't show up or whatever. But yeah, so you know, if he didn't squash his beef with Yo like he did everybody else, I think it's more so about the girl, his wife, and no disrespect to her, but would you be willing to squash some beef with somebody who had sex with your wife? You know, maybe while you was in prison, I don't know when it was or whatever. Oh Lord. And supposed to be your friend.
But now this is where it gets even crazier. Another Memphis native, Stan G. He also got on a jumper when Pooh Shiesty was locked up, and he didn't just confirm that Gucci Mane and Yo Gotti still had beef, but he said that Gucci was using business war tactics to essentially sign the best talent in Memphis so that Yo Gotti, who's obviously a Memphis native, could now not sign these up-and-coming Memphis artists, but even worse than that, he can no longer collaborate with them, right? Because if they're signed to Gucci, they can't affiliate with Yo Gotti. Gucci was cornering the market. And Stan G says it wasn't just with Gotti. This is the same tactic Gucci used at the height of his beef with Young Jeezy. Because if you guys remember the original 1017 Brick Squad record label, Gucci Mane had every single fire Atlanta up-and-comer under his belt at one point. Did he actually put pen to paper and like sign any of these guys in a real contract? A lot of them no, but check out the Wikipedia page of 1017's roster. Guys, this is insane. Waka Flocka, Yo Gotti himself, Young Thug, Young Scooter, Pee Wee Longway, Chief Keef, Mike Will, Migos, Lil Baby, Soulja Boy, Shawty Low, Metro Boomin, Rich Homie Quan, R.I.P., Bankroll Fresh, R.I.P., Future. Do you see how many Atlanta legends slipped through the cracks and were under Gucci's wing, almost signed to him, but he couldn't get that dotted line? A big part of that was allegedly revenge on Jayz, where Jayz can now no longer associate with all of these legends from Atlanta, right? Everyone who was defining the next era of trap music, if they were standing next to Gucci, they couldn't collab with Jayz. So he's missing out on working with the hottest artists. And same thing did happen with Yo Gotti and Memphis artists when Gucci Mane got out of jail and revamped the new 1017.
This is Stan G, Whack 100's op. Stan G is from Memphis and knows Memphis street politics. He says Gucci Mane is using war tactics on Yo Gotti.
Why you think Gucci dropped the whole label? You think he ain't sitting back waiting on Shiesty and Fujiano? So you don't think there were war tactics? What Gucci was doing, locking down Atlanta, signing everybody in Atlanta when he got into it with Jayz, locking that city down, got into it with Gotti, signed the whole Memphis. Now they can't mess with him. He sound like 9 artists from Memphis. Everybody he dropped was a Memphis artist. It was about that girl, bro. Every time he get into it with something, he locked the city down. Then he went to Memphis and, look, I'm signing all these bulls from Gotti hood. Gotti ain't gonna never mess with them for it because you was already rocking with Gucci before. War tactics get real in the South, too.
Fan of anything coming out of Memphis. I think I've been influenced the most by maybe Project Pat more than anybody. It's just all Memphis rappers, Kingpin, Skinny Pimp, Tommy Wright III, 8 Ball and MJG. So when I was hustling, I always was playing Memphis rappers. I felt like they had such an underground scene. That's what I gravitated to, like the most gutter music is what I want to hear.
So the new 1017 featured a lot of Memphis artists, but it was really Pooh Shiesty who kept the lights on at the label. Now Pooh Shiesty said he had the option when he was coming up to sign under either Yo Gotti or Young Dolph's imprints. And I mean, again, they're the two hottest rappers out of Memphis, and Pooh Shiesty is an up-and-comer from the same city. But ultimately, one night in the middle of the night, Gucci called him, and Pooh Shiesty, knowing that, you know, if he was on CMG, Yo Gotti's label, then he couldn't work with Young Dolph, and same thing vice versa. If he was signed to Young Dolph, couldn't work with Gotti, he decided to...
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20 handpicked products that are trending all over the world, basically validated by AI, from a trending product database from one of the top vendors on the planet. And the reason that we can do this completely free for you is because, well, Shopify is paying me to do it. You've probably seen me before, because for the last year, Shopify has loved the AI-paired software.
Leave Memphis and go sign out in Atlanta to Gucci Mane's 1017.
Now, with you being from Memphis, did Dolph or Gotti reach out since they both from the same area?
Yeah, for sure.
But you never wanted to sign with them, or they just never offered a deal, or it just wasn't the right situation?
Like, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never wanted to sign to nobody. It's just my mentality. And you know, in the city, it's like you gotta sign to either one of them. You gotta be paper out of CMG. So before WAP came out, I'm still Chopper Gang. This is my label. So I wanted to be like, why you can't be signed to Chopper Gang, CMG, or paper route? Then WAP came, boom, perfect sense, you know. One day, he texted me on Instagram. I couldn't believe this shit.
So he just sent you a DM?
Yeah, he texted me, he said, what's up, home? I couldn't believe it. I grabbed my phone, get up. He was like, I'm fucking with your music, home. Who you doing this shit with? I put my clothes on, shoot to Pop's house. Then my manager, I wake his ass. I said, wake up, bro, look. I showed him, he couldn't believe he get the sweat. He said, right then and there, though, while I'm showing him, he text back. He said, this my number, FaceTime me. I FaceTime him right there. We was on FaceTime for like 6 hours.
Word.
Now, Pooh Shiesty sees success right off the rip. He has a massive top 10 hit with Back in Blood in 2021. He's on the XXL freshman class. He's definitely one of the ones that's next up, and Gucci knows this. And in an attempt to try to build out his label, he also signs Pooh Shiesty's cousin, Big Scar. They definitely had some success in the pandemic days, dropping some hits in late 2020, but by the summer of 2021, Pooh Shiesty is arrested in relation to a shooting at a strip club in Northwest Miami-Dade. He faced 8 years behind bars, and as you guys probably know, he got out about 4 years after this in October of 2025. Before getting out, Pooh Shiesty faced a massive loss. In 2022, his cousin Big Scar ended up losing his life to an accidental drug overdose. With Pooh Shiesty locked up, his funds tied up, and Gucci Mane having signed both Pooh and his cousin Big Scar, it would make sense that as the owner of the record label that both family members are signed to, Gucci Mane would help put up money for Big Scar's funeral costs. And while that was true to an extent, he did put up $10,000. Scar's sister ended up getting on Instagram saying that this was a slap in the face to the family. Gucci Mane was not supporting them in this time of need, even though Big Scar had made Gucci all that money. And what's even worse is she says that Gucci Mane asked that they give back the chain that Gucci gave to Big Scar.
Oh my mama, he not getting them chains back. Before anyone get to speaking on some shit they don't know about, yes, he asked for the chains back. And no, he not getting them hoes back. My brother earned this. My brother mean everything to us. And for him to do him like that is low down as F. He said he couldn't pay for the funeral because his wife's birthday coming up. Nigga, you a millionaire. Gucci, a B-I-T-C-H. Gotta get it back in blood. Then they say, you know, sorry to hear that. F Gucci.
I read, he posted Scar talking about some long year him, bro. You ain't do nothing, cuz, oh God. And you ain't getting them chains, cuz. You can't get them chains. There's no way you can get them chains. The minute that them folk called your phone to see if you gonna pay for the funeral, you blocked them. That's not real, cuz. On God, that's not real. I thought Gucci was rich too. Ha, fooled all us.
Funeral paid for. That 10K went to a flowers. Flowers high school. We still got a casket. He getting cremated. He getting put up in a museum. Bitches would not be able to walk on my brother's grave. He ain't getting put in no ground. He ain't getting buried with no chains. He not getting them chains back. Period. At the end of the day. Receipts that and a bill uploaded. For the bill. And no receipts. Like I said, we only received 10,000. What the other 10 is, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. I'm at work with my feet up, making boxes. That 10K ain't did shit but about obituaries and flowers, boo. This shit ain't here with no obituaries and flowers, boo. 10K ain't shit. My brother was way more worth, baby. My brother worth more than 10K.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI app builder. And you
Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. Yeah, Gucci son 10,000 and was somebody else on another 10. So it was 20,000 and all.
So on the surface, for a while, things.
So they sent the money, so it can't be about the big scar situation. You heard the dad, and you heard the sister say it, the daughter.
Seemed like business as usual. However, like I showed you guys before, there were subtle shoutouts to Yo Gotti on Pooh Shiesty's First Day Out song, and again, Yo Gotti is the one rapper out of the laundry list of rappers that Gucci Mane has had prior issues with that Gucci has never publicly reconciled with. Simultaneously, we never saw Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane publicly together since Pooh got released from prison. But we did see him link up with Yo Gotti's artist Glorilla. But here's where things got darker. In early January, remember the name Hernandez Govin, one of the defendants in the Young Dolph murder trial and the individual who had made the bold claim that Yo Gotti had slept with Gucci Mane's wife. He got on Instagram and said that Gucci Mane had been kidnapped and robbed in order to release Pooh Shiesty from his 1017 record label contract. And he claimed that in the process, Gucci had been robbed for his own wedding ring.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this, man, but, no, I'm lying. Hey, Gucci Mane, LaFleur, you went and signed 100 from Memphis, Tennessee to try to antagonize Gotti all because he your wife. Then you dropped him and killed Pooh. And not Gotti done took Pooh Shiesty from you. How I feel to have a Memphis nigga, man, take your wife and your #1 artist? You gotta tighten up, Gucci. All that goof you were doing. Signing 100 from Memphis, Tennessee, you ain't never heard the mixtape. Just signing it to try and antagonize. And you know we know about the other shit that just happened too. Yeah, we gonna run that later on though, Gucci. Real shiesty around here, I see. Hey, y'all pray for Gucci, man, cause it's about to break. Crazy. Hey, Gucci, LaFleur, you know I grew up around my granddad and them, bro. They say when you get married, man, you supposed to always keep your wedding ring on. Always keep your wedding. My bad, Gucci. You don't know where yours is. Hey, check this out, man. This message for you. Is in my inbox asking me to take my video down. Man, you need to be trying to call you and get her to take her down our back page, man. And you got a better chance of marrying Oprah Winfrey before I take it down, man. I won't give a where you was from. South Memphis, North Memphis, Orange Mound, Atlanta, Memphis, Oregon. They don't give a it ain't a breathing that can muzzle me. The only nigga that can call me and ask me to take it down is Wack 100. And cause I know Wack with Gucci. And the only reason why I do it for Wack, cause I know he'll do it for me. But other than that, nigga breathe. God and creator nigga. They can call me and tell me to do that thing. See, the difference between me and the other niggas is you the soft. And you to be scared of a collision. I ain't. So find something else to do, bro. Cause I run this social media. Hey, this for you in the comments, man, to act like you got an ice cream cone on your face. Talking about I need to be scared of Gucci. I'm worried about Charles and white pepper spraying me.
Now here's where things get weird. So around this time when people start reporting that Gucci Mane allegedly got robbed by Pooh Shiesty, Gucci Mane actually deletes his Welcome Home Pooh Shiesty post off of Instagram. Simultaneously, Pooh Shiesty, who had not really been teasing a new album on the way ever since he got released from prison, after this alleged altercation took place, he now starts teasing new music on the way. Again, remember, all the reports were saying that they robbed Gucci Mane so that Gucci would let Pooh Shiesty out of his contract. So around this time, it's possible Pooh Shiesty thinks he's a free agent. And he's posting the hashtag album mode on his Instagram along with previews of new music. And notice in the comments, you see someone by the name of CEO Big 30 had left a comment on the post.
Excuse me, sir, how old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generations.
I made my first million last year, actually.
What line of work are you in?
I'm in sales.
Okay, what's the best advice you can give someone that's in sales?
You're only as good as your sales reps. And your CRM.
What CRM do you use?
We used to use one of the old legacy CRMs, but it just didn't give us the speed and agility that we needed. But then we switched to Monday CRM and sales started flying.
Why is the CRM so important?
Well, no specific CRM can make you a millionaire, but if you want to move fast in today's world, you need a CRM that doesn't hold you back. Monday CRM propels you forward. Instead of spending time messing around with old systems, you can invest in relationships, in cultivating leads, and in closing deals.
One last piece of advice for our viewers.
Make sure you have the right tools for your journey. If not, stop now, find the right CRM.
So a couple weeks go by, we don't hear anything of this, but keep in mind, Pooh Shiesty is on probation. He's only been free for a couple of months, and already fans start noticing weird things going on, like him doing a live stream driving around Dallas with Ben the Don, and he gets a call from his probation officer, allegedly, and tells her that he's at home.
Hello? Yeah, Latrell Williams, yeah, I'm at the house. Alright. You sign me up?
Try me got most of that stuff.
Yeah. Just go for it. On the parking lot. Right, parking lot. Go make a right.
No.
Alright.
I'm smart with that motherfucker, so I appreciate it.
You said what? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, man. Check it again. That's where I live at. That's where I live at. Refresh it. That's where I live at. Look. I ain't lying to you. I ain't playing no game.
You can meet the joint right now, too.
I don't want to play like that.
So obviously Pooh Shiesty, he was on home confinement, right? One of the terms of his probation is obviously he cannot commit another offense. Keep in mind, in that clip I just played you guys, he's riding around in Dallas. Well, by March 30th, 2026, a criminal complaint is filed in the Northern District of Texas, where Pooh Shiesty, along with 8 other co-defendants, are charged with kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Gucci Mane himself is listed as one of the victims in the complaint under his initials RD. His real name is Roderick Davis. A U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Texas had done a press conference explaining the situation in more detail. He claims that, like we had heard back in January, Pooh Shiesty and his entourage really did go meet up with Gucci Mane in a studio in Dallas, flash a firearm in his face in attempt to scare him to sign his release so that Gucci Mane would no longer own Pooh Shiesty as an artist. And while this was going down, they also robbed him of his jewelry. And of course, this wasn't a solo mission. The U.S. attorney claims that Pooh Shiesty's father had actually been there with him, along with fellow Memphis rapper Big 30, the same artist who had commented under Pooh Shiesty's post when he started teasing his new album right after this incident allegedly went down.
I'm Ryan Rabel, I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims.
So after this, Hernandez Govin, again, the same guy who had first really broke this story when it allegedly occurred back in January, he calls up DJ Academics and he gives more detail into what had actually went down, allegedly on the day that this happened. He confirms that while Pooh Shiesty may have been planning on taking his talents to Yo Gotti's label, Yo Gotti didn't have anything to do with this attack. And he believes Pooh Shiesty's intention or his thought behind committing this crime is that Gucci would never tell the authorities that he was forced to sign these release papers. So Pooh would be able to get what he wanted by Suge Knight style forcing Gucci to sign his release papers. Meanwhile, he believed Gucci would never snitch and say that he was forced to do so. The problem here is that one of these security guards that was with Gucci Mane was actually an undercover cop. So
make your browser fast. Make your browser safe.
no matter what, he's forced to recount whatever he sees goes down when he's at the scene of a crime.
Before the shit was over with, Gucci said, he looked up and said, after he signed the papers and they made him sign the papers, he said, damn, y'all know this ain't how this shit go. We still gotta go to the lawyers. And motherfucker told me, you gotta shut your up or you can shoot you on GP.
Oh shit! Oh no! That's actually true. So with release papers, because I was even thinking like, if I'm Gucci, I just put a unrecognizable signature. That's something I could shoot down later to say that doesn't match the rest of my signatures, right?
But you know, if you signing something, if somebody is forcing you to sign something under duress, it's not gonna hold up in the court of law anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think they was looking at it like Gucci would be a bitch to come out and say, "Yo, don't let him out the contract because he had a gun to me." So it was just gonna go to like
they was gonna go on. They was gonna go off of that. You know what I'm saying? You know. So I get it. You know, but and again, when people were saying Gotti had something to do with it, like they can't know because.
Yeah, is that a direct quote though?
What? So
you're saying they're pointing a gun at him. He's signing these papers, and he said this is not how it goes. And the nigga says, "Man, you better shut your bitch ass up before we shoot
you on shoot you on GP." That was said. This how bad they disrespected him, man. Man, they went in his ear and took his earrings out, unscrewed him.
No, what?
Man, treated him like a real. Unscrewed them.
They unscrewed the earrings.
Unscrewed the earrings, nigga. If I tell you a duck, you pull a truck, hook that motherfucker up.
So they took earrings, they took the wedding band off. Did Gucci take the wedding band off himself? Or did they rip it off his face? I'm wondering how physical they got with Gucci.
Hey. Govan ain't thorough. That nigga's a fucking... Govan is a straight fucking rag. Cool Van is a straight
And
threat.
Gucci follow instructions real well under pressure.
I mean, shit, I would too. I'm not, I mean, I would too.
Some of you guys might know Seti Nash. He's another dope YouTuber. He was another individual who broke this story very early on back in January, but he had told it a little differently. He said that Pooh Shiesty was not actually at the scene of the crime. However, Gucci Mane was robbed specifically by individuals who had the goal of forcing Gucci to release Pooh out of his contract. Seti now says that basically he had just said Pooh wasn't on the scene of the crime to not implicate Pooh Shiesty into this because, of course, again, he's on probation. But now that the cat's out of the bag, the full complaint has been filed, which we'll review shortly. Seti gives the full, honest recap, at least from his perspective, of what allegedly went down. And he does a good job at kind of giving a more firsthand view of what really happened. Again, he's one of the very few individuals who had initially broke this story way back in January.
Gucci goes in the studio. This is all on camera. I thought I got rid of this shit. I apparently didn't. So there's that. I tried. I fucking tried, bro. I tried. Did my damnedest. All you bloggers, y'all bloggers. Y'all not, I'm really in these streets, bro. The video is going to reveal this nigga Big 30. Mind you.
I'm talking about all y'all bloggers. Is this bloggers? Yo, we wait the shit hit the fan first, then we talk about it, elaborate on it. Yo, all that breaking news shit and all that shit, nigga, that shit get you put in a motherfucking casket. Not from me. I'm talking about like from people that might feel some type of way. Talking about you in the streets, nigga. What streets are you in? What streets are you in, Seti Nash? Let us know so we can spin it. Let us know so we can pull up on you and see how you made up. Then you talking about you tried. You tried. You tried what? The fuck out of here, nigga.
The feds already have all this shit. They had it for over a month now. Pooh Shiesty over here antagonizing shit. I'll tell you about that later. So Gucci walk in the damn studio, bro, with his people to Draco's. The footage is going to show Pooh Shiesty had one on him. Big 30 had one on him. Only person who really gonna escape from this is the Pops. The Pops did not want none of this to go on. Nigga like this, bro. Gucci look at the dad like the Pops just...
Talking about all y'all bloggers, I'm really outside. Nigga, you got the information from Govan.
Head down.
Niggas. That don't mean you outside because you got the information from Govan. Govan is a fucking rat, nigga.
You can't tell your son nothing right now. Your son the number one right now. You gonna sign this? Sign the damn papers. And we need that. Wedding ring. Watch. Come up out that. The person who closed the door is Big 30. He got his Draco. That's why they put the warrant out for him. This is all on camera, so nothing I'm telling y'all ain't shit that the feds don't know. A lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, bro, this fan work. It really ain't. I tried to say the nigga by saying he wasn't there, saying he left and then these cats did whatever they did. I tried to get the jury. By the time I get to Dallas, these niggas done already left. It's a whole rumor out there. It's gonna come out later. It is what it is. I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but I will tell y'all this. I was about this close. But the people who had the jury, they on paranoia mode. And I get it. So I ain't even mad at that one. Now, there's certain details I'm not going to put out because obviously it is what it is. I'll plead the fifth all day. I don't give a shit. They don't know nothing anyways. I know who knows what, and I know more than what the hell I'm letting know. But it is what it is. So they do that shit. They leave. Gucci Mane pissed, confused, hurt. Gucci say nothing. the cameraman and the little homie are running through everywhere doing this. They telling people, give me 5,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Give me 3,000, I'll break the whole story to you. Hey, I got the footage, bruh. Y'all can break the story. Y'all can have nobody, and I'm proud of the industry for this. It's literally some people who ain't street at all that could have had that footage and said, hell no, we ain't touching that. So behind the scenes, they've been trying to give this damn footage up.
So what he's saying here basically is that Gucci Mane had been in the studio during this altercation with a cameraman. And if you guys look it up, I'm not going to show it on screen here, but there's actually pictures in the complaint that the U.S. government had filed against Pooh Shiesty and those 8 other co-defendants, where you can see pictures of the cameraman's injuries during this altercation. And apparently the cameraman had the footage of this whole event going down, and he was trying to sell that footage behind the scenes, but said he claims that no one in the industry wanted anything to do with it. He also claims that the only person who will probably get off scot-free is going to be Pooh Shiesty's father, who again was there, but said he is claiming he didn't approve of this, but he couldn't tell his son no. And this was Pooh Shiesty who had orchestrated, been a part of, and had the idea for this entire plan to go down. Now, whether or not someone has the specific footage of this incident happening, that's what said he claims. We don't know that for a fact. But as far as what the government has on any of these defendants currently, well, Pooh Shiesty's father and Big 30 had a hearing on Saturday, and a special agent from the FBI had took the stand and actually said that they did not have hard evidence of Pooh Shiesty's father or Big 30 possessing a gun or threatening anyone. No video surveillance, no concrete evidence right now to pit these 2 individuals as guilty of this crime. Right now it's all just probable cause. And again, this is not Pooh Shiesty, this is his father and Big 30, who were also allegedly at the scene of the crime.
New development tonight in the arrest of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. He and 8 others are charged with kidnapping rapper Gucci Mane. Shiesty's father, Lontrell Williams Sr., and another Memphis rapper known as Big 30 appeared in federal court today. Action News 5's Caitlin Miller was in the courtroom in downtown Memphis. So, Caitlin, fill us in. What happened today?
Yeah, Joyce, so they're actually still in there, but what I can tell you is that a special agent from the FBI, Marcellus Hobbs, from the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, took the stand, and defense attorneys for Lontrell Williams Sr., Pooh Shiesty's father, and Rodney Wright Jr., also known as rapper Big 30, asked Hobbs a key question. Is there any hard evidence, like video surveillance, showing either man possessing a gun or threatening anyone? And Hobbs said no. He also testified that no concrete evidence was found in Wright's car or Williams' homes when they were arrested. But even so, the judge ruled there is still probable cause for both men and all defendants who appear today based on cell phone data, outside surveillance video, and victim statements that stand uncontested. Right now, we're still waiting for the detention decision, so we're watching to see whether they'll be held or released as we move forward.
Now,
apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or vibe coding meets drag and drop freedom. We'll see about that. All right, let me try to make up a site to sell some like theoretical Sambucha kombucha. Make me a site about Sambucha kombucha. Make it look nice and pretty and highlighting the products. Refine my prompt. Okay, let's do that. All right, that's so much better. All right, generate my site. So now Arya, my AI assistant, is planning things out a bit, so I'm going to let it cook. Okay, just finishing the build, and
now, this is not for me in particular to start dissecting, but a lot of people are talking about the fact that within the complaint against Pooh Shiesty, his father, Big 30, and others, it does specifically say that RD, aka Roderick Davis, aka Gucci Mane, that's Gucci Mane's initials, that's his full name, they actually identified Big 30 as being present during the attack. So while the FBI has no hard evidence that, Big 30 was actually there's no video surveillance footage of him with a firearm or threatening anybody. Apparently, Mr. RD had identified Big 30's actual Instagram handle and said that he was present at the scene of the crime. I bring this up to say this is a big discussion point right now in terms of, did Gucci Mane snitch here, right? Like, in the complaint by the U.S. government, it's claiming that Roderick Davis had identified Big 30 as being present in the crime scene that he's being charged for. And he had also told authorities or pointed out Pooh Shiesty, saying that he was ironically wearing a Shiesty mask. But now that the dust has settled and the US government has actually filed a formal complaint detailing this entire story, let me cap this off by giving you guys basically what it says in this complaint and what the government is saying really went down. So this all happened in Dallas on January 10th, 2026. Prosecutors say that Gucci Mane flew to Dallas on that day for what he believed to be a business meeting with Pooh Shiesty about getting Pooh out of his 1017 contract. But instead, of course, it turned into an armed kidnapping and robbery. Gucci Mane arrived with 2 associates in security. Again, one of the associates allegedly being a cameraman that Seti Nash alleges was trying to shop the footage of this incident around behind the scenes, and the security guards actually being allegedly undercover police officers. So Gucci goes with these people to this studio session that allegedly Pooh Shiesty's father had set up with the owner of the studio. It's important to note also that I believe Pooh Shiesty's father was Pooh Shiesty's manager. So it makes sense that he would be at a meeting like this, right? Pooh Shiesty shows up with 8 other people in total, including, again, his father and the rapper Big 30. Gucci Mane inside the studio goes into a private recording room with Pooh Shiesty, Pooh's father, and Big 30. Prosecutors say that Pooh pulled out his contract release papers and demanded Gucci Mane sign them. But when Gucci Mane refused to do so, the complaint says that Big 30 actually ended up bringing Pooh Shiesty a bag which contained an AK-style pistol. Pooh Shiesty pulled it out and then put it to Gucci Mane's head, forced him to sign the release papers, had Big 30 record the entire series of events, then ended up taking Gucci Mane's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and his cash. Pooh Shiesty's father allegedly reviewed the paperwork that Gucci Mane had just signed to release Pooh out of his contract. Then he told Gucci Mane that the contract actually needed a date, and Gucci was forced to add that as well. At the same time, prosecutors say that the rest of the group, again, because Pooh Shiesty came with 8 other individuals, they pulled guns on Gucci Mane's associates in the other room. One victim was robbed of his wallet, his chain, and his 1017 necklace.
And the thing about it is, that cameraman knew exactly who Pooh Shiesty was. You gotta remember, that cameraman used to shoot they content. So this shit don't add up.
Pooh Shiesty's father allegedly reviewed the paperwork that Gucci Mane had just signed to release Pooh out of his contract.
It don't add up.
Gucci Mane that the contract actually needed a date, and Gucci was forced to add that as well. At the same time, prosecutors say that the rest of the group, again, because Pooh Shiesty came with 8 other individuals, they pulled guns on Gucci Mane's associates in the other room. One victim was robbed of his wallet, his chain, and his 1017 necklace.
Another one was choked, nearly unconscious, and robbed of a Rolex, a Louis V bag full of expensive watches, AirPods, and his wallet. And the complaint says that Big 30 blocked the studio door so nobody could escape. The security guards outside were outnumbered, and the victims believed that they were about to be killed. Pooh Shiesty then allegedly put a gun to the back of one of the victims' heads and ordered him and Gucci Mane out of the door, while the rest of the group left through another exit. The FBI says that they built this case through surveillance, car records, cell phone data, ankle monitor data, because again, Pooh Shiesty had an ankle monitor on. He was on probation. There was also hotel footage, fingerprints, AirTag tracking, and Instagram. Remember, again, it states in the complaint that Gucci Mane had identified Big 30 and Pooh Shiesty via their Instagram pages. Investigators say that suspects were traced in a rented Buick, a Dodge Charger Hellcat, and a Dodge Ram. Several of them traveled from Memphis. That's where Pooh Shiesty was on home detainment, and they traveled to Dallas all together. And some even stayed afterwards at a Comfort Inn hotel. Fingerprints from red Solo cups at the studio matched 2 of the suspects, and there were even Instagram posts that allegedly showed some of the suspects flashing cash, jewelry, and a Rolex that was believed to be one of the stolen watches from the altercation. So the government's theory is that Gucci Mane was lured to Dallas under the pretense that this would be a meeting about Pooh Shiesty's contract, but then of course he was forced at gunpoint to sign Pooh Shiesty's release papers and then robbed along with all of his other associates, which is why all 9 men who were at the studio with Pooh Shiesty at the time are now charged with kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. And all in all, you guys, this is just an incredibly sad situation. Pooh Shiesty had tons of potential to be one of the biggest stars in hip-hop today if he just stuck on the path that, ironically, Gucci Mane probably wanted him on. Being confined to his home, having all these restrictions due to his previous case, all he had to do was spend his days in a studio recording music instead of being in a studio holding his former mentor at gunpoint, allegedly. And the irony in this entire situation is that while Pooh Shiesty may see more success within the streams of his music than he's ever seen before, just due to the sheer controversy and discussion that this situation will bring in, the only individual who will end up eating off those streams is Gucci Mane. The very same Mane who Pooh Shiesty wanted out of his business. Absolutely insane situation.
Crazy part about it is, you would have thought Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane. You would have thought Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane was like Batman and Robin. Like, that shit crazy. That's crazy, man. But you know, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe.
Just you, building your app on Base 44. Describe it. And it's real.